And it looks like we're live. Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Sin.
Hi, everyone. And welcome to our anniversary hangout
There we
of the
are.
Snack Covenant.
Yay, hang on.
Woo!
Child.
It's gonna take a couple of minutes to show up on
Yeah,
YouTube.
Allison wants to show up.
Here we are. And
Okay,
I'm
we
also
will
gonna
wait.
post this on Discord
Okay.
as well as Twitter.
Oh, good.
Allison! Hi!
Hey. Where's the chat? Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Aris.
So, post it on Twitter. And let's go to Discord. And channel updates.
Hello.
Perfect. Okay, I think it's all good.
Okay.
How's everyone doing today?
Lots of cool people we know in the chat already.
Eris, Tristan,
Yeah,
Vodka.
Vodka, Nostalgic Douchebag, Allison.
Amazing!
It's really good.
So, how are you doing? Sophie?
Well, I made something for this.
What did you
We can
make?
talk about it later, though.
Okay. It's a surprise?
Okay. Well, maybe more people should be here for it.
Okay.
How are you?
Good.
Good?
It's back to work for me in terms of back to the
Mm-hmm.
office, so it's been pretty
Mm-hmm.
tiring considering I live very far. But
Yeah.
welcome to capitalism. I'm wearing red in defiance. But
Yes.
actually, no, I'm wearing red because it's a Fallout shirt. That's how
Of
they
course.
came.
Of course, yes.
Yes.
That's okay, Georgie. We'll back this up. It's all good.
George is in the same situation as us. He's like, sadly, I have to go make money. But thank you, yeah. Happy anniversary, everyone. What is this anniversary exactly?
It is the anniversary of you first DMing me on Discord.
On Discord.
On Discord, and you said very specifically, this is your life now.
Oh
And
no.
that was 4 years ago, and it was the first like manifestation of your Loracle powers because it was.
Oh my
Hello,
god.
Caleb.
Hi, Caleb. That's true.
Mm,
That's true.
mm.
We've been talking about something earlier, how your reply to my very specific Reddit DM asking, wait, are you
Mm,
GSF?
mhm.
Your reply sort of branched two realities. In one of them, you kind of ignore me, and in the other one,
That's
you say
true,
yes.
yeah, yeah. It's the sliding doors moment.
Yeah. In the one where you ignore me, this channel is actually good.
True. Hi, Jesse.
Ah, Jesse. Actually, people had questions on Discord
Okay.
from a while
Hello,
back
Danielle.
for, hi, for
Oh, hey,
like,
everyone's showing up. Hello. Youp's
hello.
here. N4SA is here.
If I can find them now.
Okay.
Um, thought I had them written down somewhere. Let me check the Discord. Maybe I'll find them that way. I think this was before Manus.
It's alright, Nathan. We'll see you later.
Thanks for coming. Sumerians.
It's true. Vodka points out in that reality I never reply and we never got the Lock Shield episode.
Yes.
Yeah. I always forget, like, it hadn't been that long into knowing you when we did the Lock Shield.
Really?
It was like a couple of months. Because I always thought it was like, that was like a year into it. It's not. It was actually not very long at all.
Hmm. Yeah. Maybe I didn't ask it on Discord. Maybe I asked it on Twitter.
You did what? Which one?
No, because a while back we wanted to do this as a video, but we decided to do this as a
Yeah.
stream. And I'm
Okay.
like 99% sure I was like, hey everyone, if you have questions for our anniversary.
Okay.
But I can't seem to find them. Weird.
Do you want me to blow the load early and show them what I made?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we were talking about like what is something we can do together?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, Sin likes eating. I like
Yes.
cooking.
Yeah.
Need to find a way to bridge Canada and Australia like through the medium of cooking.
Yes.
How do we do it? Okay, so I'm gonna show you, right?
Oh my god.
It's probably a little cold and cloggy at this point, but right. Sin, what is this?
Is this a poutine?
It's a poutine, Sin, with one key difference.
Yeah. What is this
It's
extra ingredient?
it's got pineapple in it.
Explain yourself.
I made Australian poutine with pineapple. It's also vegetarian
If
gravy.
you thought pineapple pizza was controversial, but I've never heard of a pineapple poutine in my life.
Well, I don't think anyone has. I invented it like an hour ago.
That is the most amazing thing ever. Wow. Bravo, bravo, Sophie. You have
Thank you.
outdone
Thank you.
yourself yet again.
I hate poutine.
What? It's the best.
Disgusting.
Oh no, we have people joined. Sorry, we didn't see everybody's names. Hi everyone. Hi Jupe. Hi Time. Hi
No.
Tristan. Hi Jesse. Nathan. Paul. Joanne. Assailant. Hi everyone, welcome.
People
So
are so
yeah.
mad.
So if you have any questions for Sophie and I regarding, I guess, the
Yeah.
Snack Covenant, feel
Or
free
no,
to
no, no.
ask.
And for our 4-year anniversary, I'm the one eating and you're the one who's talking. So
Whoa, that's
yeah,
amazing.
it took
Look
this
how
long.
far we've come. Zaychik is asking, is the doll Erden?
Sin?
We know for a fact that Erden is every character in the Soulsborne series.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the answer is yes.
Oh.
Assailant is asking, have you guys heard of this little gem called Bloodborne? I think you might like it. Joy is asking, when will the Snack Covenant sweatshop start pumping out new merc? Do we have any new characters? Yeah, okay, no, we do, okay. We need to figure out the Sacred Lime. Once we figure out what the Sacred Lime actually is, we can start putting it on things.
Well, what's the scene?
Oh, Ingrid.
Here she is.
That's so cute. It's a very cute cat.
Yes.
Will Patches be in Elden Ring? Yes.
Yeah, why not?
100%. Was Patches in Sekiro?
No.
Mm.
There was there's no like Patches archetype in Sekiro, is there?
I think Patches was too scared. I'm not messing with the Sekiro dude.
Remember when the Sekiro trailer came out and it showed like Emma walking by the hole that Sekiro is in?
Yeah?
And people were like, is that Patches?
Aw.
Because they're down a hole. Hey souls!
Hi! Yes, Erden is Velka as well. Thank you, Ipsy! How long has it been? What's the, like, 20 years, 30 years anniversary? What is this?
4.
4?
It's the first time you messaged me was
Yeah.
start of August 2017, so it's been 4 years.
No, I think it was 2018. No, it was 2017.
Sure, what?
2017, 2018, 2019, 4 years?
Gosh.
Whoa, our podcast is like a child who can, like, walk and talk. Our podcast is Lambo. Lambo is 5.
That's true. Next year it'll be more back.
Next year, the Lambo anniversary. At least 12 years, yes. Is this the 4th anniversary of the doll? I don't know.
I promise I'll talk more when I finish this poutine.
Oh,
I
Jesse
haven't
said...
eaten for so long,
Oh,
because I had to...
You poor child.
I wasn't going to touch anything before this, because otherwise I'd be sick.
Lamboversary. So Jesse says they've been watching for 2 years. Let's do this. Let's do a contest. Who's been watching for longest?
Me.
Okay. Sophie ruins everything. No, Sophie.
Sophie's only been watching for 4.
So yeah, how long has everybody... I know Allison has been here for like 4 years for sure. Shook, I think so as well. I remember talking to you in the comments of the doll video. I started with the Flaming Boulder. So Graham came in a little later because Flaming Boulder is enemies of Bloodborne. So probably 1 year. Ipsy was pretty late. I don't think you were too late. Let's say 2 years. Skull says 6 months. Oh my god, Skull is a baby. Joe says, took me 4 years to find where Sophie went from GSF. Yeah, Sophie didn't make it easy. Just left breadcrumbs. Like you needed to be a detective to figure out what happened.
Almost like I was trying to avoid people.
Almost
for
like
some reason.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Not you.
No,
if you came
no.
here and you stuck around, you're good.
Yeah. Lol, Jupe is like Sin and I didn't get along in the beginning. Yeah, that's true, isn't it? We had like a fight to the death.
We have a very, very active anti-fandom in some places. That's basically people who watched me before I met Sid.
Yeah.
And you're very, very angry with how things turned out.
That's true. Danielle says, I started before 2020. So like, so that's like 2 years, I think. Nice. Are you okay? Did you just choke on the poutine? What is what is the Australian 911?
000.
0. Okay, I gotta remember, because if something happens, I know your address. I can... Wait, how do I call the Australian 000? What's the Australian area code?
If I start choking, I'll just call them myself.
Okay.
Go fine. Okay.
Alright.
But no, but remember, like, when we first started, it was really rare that someone would have met, like, the two of us together, because they mostly knew me. And you were like, oh my god, you found the channel after, you found it after GSF. Like, it was this massive deal, and now it's like half the people listening. That's really good.
Yeah, it's cute. It's very
It's
cute.
really good. You're like a filter. You filter out all the shitty people.
Lol. It's interesting though, how the podcast evolved over the years. Because when we started this,
Yeah.
the very first.
Also, remember when we say evolve, evolution is like a process of adaptation. Doesn't mean it actually got better.
It did get better. It got much better, Sophie. Oh my god, no! Because when we first started making these, it was more like, okay, so GSF, she's giving me her like time, and like because you were doing your dissertation, this and that, so you're like, I have 3 months of waiting or whatever it was, and where I'm like free, and I'm like, okay, so she has 3 months where I can get like as much information out of her as possible. And it was partly just for me because I wanted to know more Bloodborne, but also people who were following the channel back then, they were like very chill. They didn't care about standards because they joined, and like it was very like they'd appreciate whatever's put out, you know?
Audience. They were great. They didn't care about standards.
Yeah, no, but everybody, like you, I don't know if you remember, like Mittens and Hedgie, like it was just a fun place to chill, and streams were fun, and
Yeah.
everything was fun. Doesn't matter. It's like, oh my god, GSF is here and she's telling us lore. That's just the cherry on top. So the edits were not. It's not that they were necessarily bad. There were still edits. They were a little bit like careless, like whatever, you know. Whereas now I think we take them a little more seriously. But also we didn't have the benefit of the Patreon structure, so most things went on YouTube. Whereas now, the unlistenable
Now we have
stuff.
a dedicated place for the pig slop. It's great.
So, um. Oh! Joa just became the member on YouTube! Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, we gotta talk about the member versus patron thing. And I have to explain this every time, and I'm sorry if it's annoying, if you've heard this before. Basically, YouTube didn't let small creators have members and stuff back in the day. This is a recent thing. And so all our infrastructure is on Patreon. Because by the time YouTube decided that maybe small creators are worth something, we already had hundreds of videos or whatever on Patreon. So it was just like... But thank you for joining, but if you want rewards for your efforts, it's on Patreon. Yeah. Yeah, but the good reward here is that you get like a little icon next to your name. That's good. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
But if you want more videos, it's Patreon. So that's the little thing. I think a lot of the stupid questions ended up destroying a lot of assumptions. Allison's like, I saw this speech coming. I know you did. She's been here long enough. She knows it's coming. Okay, Vodka says, I remember when Aegon was still doing his Bloodborne, Let's Talk Lore, and Sophie was a guest, and that got me interested in the GSF channel and then Sinclair Lore.
Oh, thank you.
That's cool. Thank you for the anniversary wishes. Well,
Because
it's
I met
everybody's
Vodka
anniversary.
just, like on
Yeah.
Twitter, so I had no idea how she knew who I was. We just were talking one second.
Oh. Yeah, it's not just our anniversary. It's like everybody's anniversary. All of us
So it's the
together.
first day of spring.
Yeah.
Here.
Did we predict spring? Yeah.
I feel like you can probably predict spring with relative accuracy. Every year.
Thank you. Alan is asking, Sophie, have you considered doing a new and updated recap of everything we've learned about Bloodborne over the years?
I feel like that's all I do, and I don't know what I would say that's new. Because I feel like the thing about the channel, which has involved things like fucking enemies of Bloodborne, locations of Bloodborne, the upcoming doors of Bloodborne, badges of that's not even a joke, badges is a series. So it's like, what haven't we covered?
What haven't
Is it
we
like-
covered?
No, it's like when I do those like solo ones that are more in depth and people like, oh my god, I didn't realize blah blah blah, and it's something that we've talked about. But not everyone is listening to all of those, which I understand because there's hundreds of them. So I sort of don't know where to go, you know.
Yeah.
Oh hey, this is here. Hello.
Hi!
I feel weird because I'm waving at you as if you're over here when you're actually here, but my monitor's over here. Also, I perpetually look down because my
Yeah,
computer's much lower than my camera. I'm sorry.
same.
I'm not looking down upon you.
What if the podcast just leaves Bloodborne behind for good? What a controversial question! Let's address it.
Well, I guess it depends on Elden Ring, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I mean, once you finish, if ever, the Bloodborne up close, that's like.
I'll
Should
be
we
honest,
address?
my problem with up close is that it's sort of like 4chan slash Reddit based.
Yeah.
Because that's what they know me for, and every so often they'll stumble across it and get mad because that's what they're typing into YouTube. So,
So it's a
um,
complex relationship with
yeah,
Bloodborne
like
for
I
us.
feel like I don't know. My what I'm trying to do is like have a sort of thesis statement for each one that's not just like. So I don't know. We'll try. What are my thoughts on the Ringed City? Sin, what are my thoughts on the Ringed
You
City?
love it. It's the best.
It's great.
It's awesome. I'm glad. What I love about it is how it ties the series together and explains all the unanswered
I needed
questions.
less than I used to. With the benefit of hindsight, like, the problem is at the time, Dark Souls 3 had come out, and it made almost no sense, um, on a narrative level whatsoever. And then it was like, well, you know, okay, no, I'll start over. It wasn't quite that.
Okay, I'll
Dark
edit
Souls
it
3,
out. Don't worry.
thank you, it's good. Dark Souls, there's a clip function on YouTube now. We can use that.
Oh,
Also,
amazing.
someone still asked, is that your boyfriend walking past the window?
Or a ghost.
Chill's gonna be narrating this soon. It should be illegal to watch these scary videos. Okay, so the problem with like 3 is what Dark Souls 3 sort of was like a series of stories that didn't go anywhere. It was kind of like someone would start telling you a story and then they would say, "Oh no, forget about that. I have another one." So it's all these stories that just sort of start and don't go anywhere. And it was like, all right, we know there's going to be 2 DLCs because they announced that with the season pass. So like, okay, they're just going to fix it up there because the same thing had happened with Bloodborne, where like Bloodborne feels way more self-contained than Dark Souls 3 does. But Bloodborne had these dangling threads about like what the fuck cause was and like what was up with people's eyes and what the deal with the doll was and all this other stuff. And the DLC had addressed that. So you're like, okay, clearly Dark Souls 3, the reason these stories aren't going anywhere is because the DLC is going to answer them. So we were like, it's fine. And then the DLCs came out and just added more stories that also didn't go anywhere. So by the
Yeah.
time it came, I was so pissed off. I think everyone kind of was. Because like, remember when like the Ring City trailer dropped, right?
Yeah.
And they were just calling it the Ring City.
Yeah.
But all the buildings, they had the Londor like
The Russian
sword
F.
design.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Russian F. They were Russian Fs everywhere. And then we're like, and they're talking about like, oh, at the end of the world and the Age of Fire is ending. Like, oh, okay. The Ringed City is like that's Londor,
Mhm.
and that makes sense of everything
Mhm.
because they keep talking about like Yuri is there, and she's like, Karth, I have failed you, and we knew that internally Yuri was called like the messenger of Karth, and we're playing through it, and it's like, oh, okay, like that's gonna tie together all the Dark Souls stuff, and then
Yeah.
oh, we got in there, and there's little statues of primordial serpents.
Uh huh.
And there were statues of primordial serpents in the base game. And we're like, oh, they're building to something,
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah. They were
And they
actually
did.
building to Midir.
Yeah. And the game ends with the revelation I remember when it was discovered that the final boss was Gale, which was before the game came out. And we were like, oh, good. Because Gale is a character who you had met, like, the entire relationship with Gale is he's in a he's in the cathedral and then he's like touch this magic painting, nothing will happen. And then he gets sucked into like then he shows up at the end to kill Frida. And then it's just now he's the final boss of the whole series. Who
You
are
know
you?
Sophie, I just had a vision. You know who should have been the final boss?
Literally anyone. Go on.
The Sad Knight.
What, the Crestfallen Warrior?
Yes, because
Yeah.
we encounter him everywhere. That would have been perfect. But the one from Demon Souls.
The same voice actor.
Yeah, so it's just like ties the whole series together.
No, and the other thing is like, what dropped was the dialogue file, and it had the Locust Preacher's lines in it, and they were before Gale. So we're like, oh, is the final boss going to be Gale? Is like summoning all these people to fight like a
Oh.
boss rush? No.
Mhm.
But the thing is, like, if you're waiting for it to actually make sense, the Ring City is unbelievably frustrating and annoying. Now that I have the benefit of several years of detachment from it, I'm like, it's
Yeah.
stuff I'm not mad. It's there, it's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm moving on.
No, it's true. I guess it was frustrating in the moment because it's like it just happened. But
Yeah, and Robert points out it was all for paint. And that's true.
yes.
That's the thing that's why I was saying at the time, like, the story's about paint now as a joke. Because,
Yeah.
like, I'm not saying paint is a bad, like, the whole concept of, like, we use the souls to physically paint the next world.
Hmm.
It's kind of an interesting, evocative idea.
Yeah.
The problem is they bring it up at the end of one of the DLCs, and it's like, that's about this now?
Yeah.
It's about everything, so consequently it is about nothing.
Thank you
Bye-bye,
for
Alan.
coming by, Ellen. Dark Pains. Yeah.
Okay. Out of all the theories out there on Bloodborne, which one do we hate the most, Sin?
All Bloodborne theories are beautiful.
There must be something.
I mean, because some theories that are clearly like quote unquote wrong are so good though. Like the what is
Yeah.
it? The I want to say file tendency. It's not file tendency.
Blood tendency.
Blood tendency. Like
Blood
it's so cute. It's I can't. How do you come up with that? It's so imaginative, you know?
Yeah. Well, the best part... The guy who came up with the blood tendency thing, back before he got banned, I checked his, like, post history, and there's all this stuff he was posting in all these Reddits about, like, how to expand your consciousness through meditation.
Oh, okay.
So I think we do know where blood tendency came from.
Meditation?
I think he's just kind of... His mind left his body.
Sophie, what a
Floated off
bully.
into... Mind left his body and floated off, and he, like...
Maybe he encountered blood tendency in the cosmos,
I
you know?
think so. I think he's like Mikolash. He was just like mummified in a chair. And he's like beaming off into the distance.
So when we're enlightened enough, we'll understand it.
Yeah.
I have some good news, Sophie. I found the questions.
Oh, good.
Okay, so earlier this year, we asked people if they had any questions for a Snackiversary on Discord, and here they are. the the person formerly known as the Good Richard and who is now known as the Only Richard
The only Richard. Yeah,
asks
he can
if
have it.
if you could do it all again, what would you do differently this time?
What's it?
I think with like the
Podcast or-
podcast, the YouTubes,
Yeah.
what would you do differently?
Um. I don't know because like
Mhm.
the problem is as soon as I realized we got on, we just went for it. So
Mhm.
it's not like we got on really well and then it took us a really long time to get started. Because we got on really well and you would just like episode,
Yeah.
like immediately.
Yeah.
So I don't really have I have regrets about how I sound a lot of the time, like in terms of what I'm saying, but
Do you want to
I sort of
expand
don't...
on that for people who may not
Oh,
know
just
what
because
you're
I'm in
saying?
like a bad mood for a lot of the old ones. Well, I mean, you can. I was essentially in a bad mood from like about 1998 to the end of 2019. So like
Mm-hmm.
I'm sort of like I don't know. We did an episode that's not on the channel. It's like a Patreon one where like I talked about it, but like I was if you're very insecure, you sort of cling to like certainties and you get dismissive. And I was sort of like that at the start because I would just like dismiss things out of hand and sort of say like this is stupid, this is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I mean I regret doing that, but like it's a more generalized regret.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any
Yeah.
regret in terms of like, you had the GSF channel, which was like
Mm,
really niche, but also really popular. It was like both those things at the same time, and it's still popular. Like people still find your Bastard's Curse, even though it's unlisted. People still find it through like Vati's links and stuff.
me too.
So, do you have any like thing you would have done differently or continued or like different like about your old channel?
It's hard to say because like it started from a bad place. So it's like that's why I never went back to it because it's like this is just like this is a shitty thing that I shouldn't have done at all.
Hmm.
And that's why I felt more comfortable talking to you because it's like okay, we're actually just like starting something different and it's not stuck to how it was.
Hmm.
Mm.
The episode you're talking about, I'm actually gonna link
Oh,
it because on
okay.
Patreon we did a few episodes called Sophie Sin where we talk about like how we met and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the one you mentioned, I think it's episode 1. And
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I've linked it in the past, like in Discord and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it
Yeah.
in the chat as well if anybody's interested, and you can bookmark it and access it at any time because it's just unlisted. It's not like
It covers a lot of what I just said, basically.
yeah.
Yeah. People cried during it.
Mm, yeah. It was an emotional episode. It was.
I was just like, oh god, this shit happened, and I'm just glad it's over with.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think what I would do differently on my end, if
Mm-hmm.
I knew that, like, okay, actually, this bitch isn't going anywhere. You guys have a lot of time to cover a lot of things. I think we would have recorded less and focused more on. And if people said like, oh, people are actually gonna watch this,
Yeah.
just like maybe record less, focus more on editing, on like stuff, like I really like the fact that we have like pixel animation now, we have an intro, we have an
Yeah.
episode count, we have notes of Sophie, we have Ricky Miyazaki. Like I feel like
Yeah.
this may have come, well, maybe not, but maybe these type of things would have arrived sooner if it was a little less chaotic in the beginning. Maybe.
Yeah. 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 Also, like, remember at the beginning, it was like you at one point said like, "I own you."
I said no
You
such
have to
thing.
record these things if you were. I just like, bitch. It is Friday. I own you.
Oh my god.
I agreed to record with you on Friday, which you took to mean like
Right, yeah, literally.
it's over from midnight. I have no control over my life.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And you are just gonna message me.
Oh, Arthur says we look radiant today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you know why we look radiant?
I keep bashing my table, you can't quite see it.
That's
Sorry.
not why we look radiant. It's because the Fallout radiation is shining upon us with this NCR hoodie and this Fallout t-shirt. Thank you.
I have no Fallout merch.
Can't believe you have no Fallout merchandise.
I don't. I have a Reborn mug.
That's true, and it's still the only one in existence. Do you see how much I love Sophie? Okay, the story behind the
Hey,
mug.
tell the story and then I'll fill in the gap.
Okay, I was looking up Reborn merchandise because they're impossible to find. And there was a mug, a Reborn official mug, that kind of looked like the mug you have now. And I'm like, I will pay any amount of money for this mug if I can find it. but it was nowhere. Like, you can't find it on like nowhere. Like, it's gone. And so I was like, okay, son, don't panic, because we have Onsite 7. Onsite 7 is an artist that does a lot of our chibis. And so I messaged him and I was like, so I have a very strange request. There's this mug that's out of stock and like it's never gonna appear again and I can't find it anywhere, but I have these like low resolution pictures of the mug from different angles. Can you like make like, and then I told him like, I wanna like, can you copy it so I can put it on a mug? Like, I'm not gonna, it's just for me, I'm not gonna try to sell it or do something illegal. It's just, you know, it's for personal use. And I asked him to replace one character. Instead of Rokudo, I wanted him to put the intense one, the boxer.
You know the names?
Ryohei, there we go. I was like, just instead of this one, put Ryohei. And Onside was like, I got you, fam. And so he made these beautiful chibis. It looks exactly like what I wanted it to look. It looks exactly like the mug. And then it was like, okay, I'm gonna put it on a mug and send it to, I wanted to send it to myself, and then I was like, no, I'll send it to Sophie. I think it was like your birthday, or it was like...
It was my birthday.
It was, yeah, yes, because there we go.
Yeah.
So I still have not made one for myself.
Yeah. So I'd like to fill in a little piece of the story that's missing.
Okay.
Which is that the design on the mug had to be paid for, as did the manufacturing and shipping of the mug, and that of course came from our Patreon funds.
Patreon.com/SinclairLore.
So yeah, that's...
So Sophie, thanks to everyone watching, now has the only custom-made bootleg version of this random Reborn cup.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's very nice. I'm glad I have it.
Oh my god, it's so cute. It's show it again, so we can see the details. So okay, so this is Ryohei, and the next one is Hibari-san with the little bird on his head. Oh, and then we have Yamamoto and his magic bat that turns into a sword. And then we have...
and
then we have Bokudera from Italy. Look. And then we have Nogutsuna.
Yeah. You know who's not on it?
Reborn?
Reborn, yeah.
There was no space. There was some budget cuts.
Do I like Guilty Gear? I don't play fighting games.
Kind loves Guilty Gear.
My friends are really into Guilty Gear. One day I'll play it.
Yeah.
I know what it is, I just haven't. One of my friends has actually been sending me, like, Guilty Gear, like, end sequences and stuff. Because he's like, this is so stupid, look at it. So,
yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah. And people have been asking when we're doing Season 2 of Reborn. And the thing is, it is such a big endeavor. It's the thing that we spend the most time, resources, and editing doing. We gotta get some other stuff out of the way first. And you know. And then
He's not even joking.
No, I'm not. No. it's...
I need to point out to everyone, during the first, like, Reborn saga,
Yes.
she was sleeping about 4 hours a night just to cram in more and more Reborn every day. And it literally ended with her falling asleep during an episode that we were recording with Loki. And I didn't notice because Loki never stops talking. But, like, if Sin's audio just stops, it's just like... Sin's like... What?
Poor Loki. And then the other thing where I had to go to the emergency room was also during a Loki recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it shows our dedication to podcasting, that even when you were in the emergency room, we just kept going.
Hi, Holdsy.
Hi,
Yeah,
Andre.
Holdsy, by the way, is the person that does all the pixel animation.
Yeah, they're really good, yeah.
Amazing. And it's all started because one day, Holdsy, who's a super cultist, was like, hey, Sin, I made something. And I was like, what did you make? And they're like, I made this. And I will show you what Holdsy sent me. it was just, it blew. I did not know this could be made. I did not know. Like, it was just, it just blew my mind. Wait, wait, wait. I'll find it. I'll find it. Darn it, Halsey. Why can't I just, can I just click you? Ah, YouTube, why are you so frustrating? And I'm just typing with typos. There we go. There we are. Okay. So, cultists will remember a moment in our podcast where Sophie and I were talking about, I think it was the Moonlight Sword or whatever, but we couldn't get the name quite right.
Yeah.
And Halsey made this video. And it was so good and magical.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just perfect. And then Halsey, then following that, made another video which was even more advanced than that one. It's about the dungeons.
Yeah.
And we were like, Halsey, can you? What if we commission you to do this as a background? Can you do that? And Halsey was like, I got you, fam. And you know how you made this the big domino meme where it's like Sin messages Sophie and it ends with Jersey Miyazaki?
Jersey Miyazaki.
The other version is like Halsey makes a random animation ends with Jersey Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have our pixel selves on my wall. Don't know if it'll show up on the webcam, but
That's very cute.
sort of make it out in the middle there.
Oh. It's very, very cute.
It is, yeah.
All right. So thank you for that question. Okay. So the next one is from Nakafok. Do you still see yourselves as primary a FromSoft lore channel? And if so, do you still want to?
Are we?
I feel like being a FromSoft lore channel implies a sort of intelligence to it.
It's true.
Like, it sounds very intellectual, and I don't know.
What it's most like to me is it's like a weird alternate reality game hostage situation.
Yeah.
Just like, we need 20 minutes on this one thing. Can you do that? If you don't talk about this, like, this fucking door for 20 minutes, like, I shoot you. Go. That's what it's like to me.
I think I think maybe this started as a From lore channel.
It was just a Bloodborne lore channel, really. Oh,
well, before you joined, it was a Souls channel.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it just devolved into I don't know what. Emoji poop channel, you know? That's I think.
Just refer to what we do as crap content, but
Yeah.
capitalized as if it's a proper noun.
Yes. Yeah.
You've seen professional content on Party Video, The
Yeah.
Ashen Hollow,
Yeah.
Town. Now try Sinclair Law's crap content.
It's true. It's true.
The other thing, like, when we talk about us like, sort of, like, how we moved on. How we changed. Like, I very distinctly remember it was the first time we'd ever streamed together. And I was saying to you, like, can we stay on topic?
Yeah.
Because I was saying, like, I don't really want to, like, be on a channel where the draw card is just us instead of the thing we're talking about. And then, yeah.
And I just didn't care. I'm like, don't worry, nobody's watching this.
Yeah.
And the follow-up question is, are there any ideas you've had for content that you were afraid were too off-brand or strange to pursue? Reborn?
What the fuck is off-brand for us?
I'm guessing it would be something like Reborn.
I think staying on topic is off-brand for us.
Shade!
No, remember, this is a thing, we have said this and we're going to do it, right? Is that when Elden Ring comes out, the day before Elden Ring comes out, We will release your Law.
Mm-hmm.
It's this character that's integral we just never talked about. Because we got too fucking distracted with, like, your headcanon where the giant's name is Jennifer, or the snatcher is called Jennifer, and
The
the giant's
snatcher.
running a coffee stand. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's true.
Thank you,
There is
Amy.
one thing that Sophie categorically refused to talk about. A long time ago, I read Sophie's dissertation and I was like,
Oh, fuck.
this is so mind blowing, Sophie. This is so good. You're such an intellectual and a scholar. And this
I'm a
was,
doctor.
yeah, this was when I first met you. Like, our friendship was still developing and I was so like, oh my god. So smart, so good, so well written, so well thought out. Like, it's so intelligent. Like, we should definitely do an intelligent podcast on this. And you were like, never. Sophie shut down that conversation. That's like, no.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only thing we'll never talk about on this channel.
I don't like what I did though. That's the truth.
Yeah. Tutu says, stupid podcast only. Thank you, Tutu.
The thing is, like, we talked about, like, being, like, insecure. Like, I was convinced that, like, no one's gonna like me if I act like myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, can we not talk about ourselves? Can we not hang out? Can we just, like, put it out there? And then, yeah, I think just as a result of having a different audience, it was like, oh, people do like you. Okay.
Badgerman has another question. Would you ever consider doing Warhammer 4K or Age
Sigma.
something
Sigma.
more, whatever, nerds? So would you consider doing those?
Okay, so I actually started. This is the thing. We were going to do Kill Team, right? For reference, I was just saying for reference, okay? Okay. Okay, so, like, the thing everyone knows about Warhammer is it's really fucking expensive.
Yeah.
But there is a system that they do called Kill Team that is like 5 to 10 aside. Okay, so it's kind of like affordable. And I thought, okay, we'll do some Kill Team stuff. And then just as I got the Kill Team stuff finished, they released a new edition of Kill Team, which has completely different rules. But that's not actually out yet, so we're actually in between, like, them killing off OG Kill Team and releasing, it's called Kill Team Octarius or something. So I'm actually just waiting on Kill Team Octarius to come out. And then we'll start from Kill Team Octarius. That's what I wanted to do. And yeah. We can play over this, I guess. You can tell me whether you want things moved.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and the thing is, I'm building a board for it. And the board it's designed to be compatible with another system called Dead Zone. And Dead Zone is much cheaper because it's made by literally anyone else. So, we'll probably just expand into other stuff from that because, like, I don't want to get tied down to just Games Workshop if we do tabletop stuff because their stuff is so expensive and there's other companies out there that I kind of like more. Also, I really want to do Kings of War because I have an army of bug people for that. That's very cute.
Somebody had a question in the meantime, in the chat. Who was it? Let me scroll.
Can I answer Graham's question while you're scrolling?
Yeah.
Okay, Graham wants to know what makes Kill Team different from Necromunda. The Kill Team rules, as far as I can tell, the old ones that they just, like, they're refreshing it now, but the ones that, like, I picked up, they are exactly the fucking same as second edition Necromunda. I don't know if new Necromunda plays differently because I've never tried, but it was very, very similar. So but New Kill Team is completely different. In terms of its rules, it doesn't. It's not derivative of the 40k stats or anything, so I don't know.
Hmm. Thank you, Sophie.
We love you too, Allison.
Yes.
Oh.
Um, Arberg is asking, what advice would you give your younger selves?
Do you want to go first? Or
Don't do a bachelor in psychology.
you have a job?
That's true. Actually.
You're better than I am.
What advice would you give your younger self?
No, I would like to point out, right,
Okay.
that I like I'm like a not technically high school dropout, but like I left high school early and I completed by distance. And I got like really bad grades because the way the system is set up here, like the grades are dependent on the units that you take. So like I went from like there to having like an absolutely terrible sort of entrance score. So in order to get into university, I had to work my way up from like basically just out of high school, like vocational courses, up through a bachelor's program, and then I climbed all the way back up to get to like a doctoral position. And then like after that, that was like 15 fucking years of like clawing up this horrible thing. And the end result is I still don't have a job. Was thinking about that the other day, and it's like, oh,
But at
what
least
do
you
you
have
have
a
to show?
PhD. At least you have a PhD. It's fancy.
I have a lot of degrees, yeah. I have a
I
lot of
know.
degrees and certificates, and it it hasn't really gotten me anywhere. I could say it made me a more well-rounded person, but that would be a lie.
Damn.
I think like the advice I would give to myself, and this is something that like it came up the first time we talked about this, but like um I was very, very scared of like missing out on things that you sort of are like when you're I guess when you're younger. It's like I have friends who are like in their like early 20s and it's hard to explain things to them, but like I remember when you're like 20, someone who's like 25 is old and someone who is 30 is unimaginably ancient.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time with like so I'm 37 and I spent a lot of time with like time is ticking by and I'm frightened, incredibly frightened that like I'm going to hit a certain age after which I can't do things anymore. So if I haven't done this by this time, it will never work out for me. It's like I remember like I was freaking out like I basically started studying like 5 years after everyone else because I had to sort of like climb back up to get the grades I needed to get into this thing. So like when I started my bachelor's degree, I was 24 in a everyone else was 19. So like um that's like and that sounds ridiculous to me now that that would bother me because 24 seems like a fucking child.
Yeah, actually.
But like it did like at the time like I felt very, very insecure and I'm like I need to work really hard because if I can't fall behind. So like, because I'm like, I don't want to have to be like, I was scared like I'm gonna be applying for like graduate programs when I'm 40, and that's like too old, and I've already ruined my life by that point. But like, the thing is, like, that's not true. It didn't happen anyway because I was in the PhD program in my 20s anyway. But like, um, the other thing is like when I went to my induction with all the other people who were candidates, like I was one of the younger people there because I was thinking in my head, like, oh, what happens is you go like undergrad, master's, doctor. So when you're in that part of it, you must be like 26 or 27. But it's like, no, because you do, like, most people are doing their undergrad when they leave high school, but then they're coming back to do a master's or coming back to do postgraduate stuff, like, when they're much older. And but like in my head at the time, because I'm like really nervous and really worried, I'm thinking like, well, you die when you turn 30.
Yeah,
Everything you have,
basically, yes.
everything you haven't done by then is never ever going to happen.
Hmm.
And then, but, like, I remember showing up at my induction, and half the people there are fucking like, my parents' generation.
Yeah.
So it's just like whatever.
Yeah, I wish that,
Yeah.
we had like guidance counselors or whatever in like high school and college and university, but they were never actually useful in a way where they're like, chill out. Like, this is what you need to
Yeah.
do to get where you want to get, but like, nobody gets there by this time. Like, you can actually do this, you can actually work, you can get experience, you can, instead of
Yeah.
doing this, you can do
Yeah.
that. Like, actual real world advice at that age would have been really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And just on a side note, Halsey made something. I'm gonna post it in chat. As some of you may know, we've been doing adventure streams. And on
You've
the
been
very
doing adventure streams. I've been waking up to the aftermath of the adventure streams and saying, "What did you do?"
and Halsey made a pixel art of the very first adventure stream where we found the Firefly Kingdom. Thank you, Halsey. It's beautiful. I'm dying. I
Yeah.
love it. I can't. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'd say the other thing, like, it's something for myself, but it's also something I see myself telling people who are like slightly younger than me, like my friends who are like in their late 20s
Mm-hmm.
or their early 30s, is like, if something bothers you, you're not going to be able to pretend it doesn't bother you forever.
Yeah.
Because I know people, like, obviously with me, we all know what it was, but like, I know people who are in like maybe relationships that clearly aren't working out or something like
Yeah.
that, and they're like, oh, I just won't think about it. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that works short term, but like, if you're still in this place in 10 years from now, it will not be easy.
No.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah. Well, that was very
mm,
insightful. Thank you, Sophie, and thank you, Halsey, for this amazing kingdom picture. Um, I'm gonna go back to Discord and look
okay,
at more questions.
okay,
Um,
that's-
Sophie, Switch Fairy is asking, Sophie, why aren't you watching Lion, Paranoia Agent, and Red Line?
okay, so those are all anime that Switch Fairy told me to watch,
Okay.
and the reason I'm not watching them is because okay, I don't own um Redline, so I have an excuse there.
Uh huh.
Paranoia Agent and Lane are literally on my bookshelf, and I've not watched them because I don't know.
Is
I just
Paranoia
haven't,
Agent the one made by the Reborn animators? There's one.
because she can't did Reborn.
Wait. Paranoia Agent Reborn. Let's see if Google can tell us.
Reborn would be amazing. It might be the same studio.
What?
It might be the same studio.
Yeah. Uh.
Anyway,
Anyway,
and the
I'll
thing
look
is,
it up
like,
later. But yeah, go on.
I can't justify this at all because I own. It's just acres of crap,
um.
and it's just what I. Last night. This is true. I had hours and hours of free time while I was waiting for something to download. I couldn't really do anything else. I thought I'd watch a DVD. I don't know if you can see very well, but there's quite a lot of them in those cubes. Those are all DVDs,
Yeah.
except the last couple of books. And like, I was like, oh, I can watch whatever I want. And I ended up watching. I ended up watching an absolute piece of shit. Um, called Drift Beauty Battle. That is just about women in bikinis doing drift racing.
Thank you,
And
Sophie.
because that's what I watched.
Um. Speaking of
I
which,
could I could have watched anything. I could have watched Paranoia Agent.
Mhm.
I could have watched Lane, I could have watched Utena, I watched Drift Beauty Battle. And I
That's
do regret
beautiful.
it.
Thank you,
Oh
Sophie.
no, we will not be talking about Chris Chan.
About what?
We're not talking about Chris Chan on this
I,
stream. If this were a few days ago, I might touch on the subject, but I think now we're not talking about Chris Chan.
okay, you'll explain to me later.
Yeah,
Sophie
yeah.
loves to talk cryptically.
It was
She
it was the
knows
chat.
things. She
The
knows I
chat
don't
bring that up.
understand anything. She knows
Chat bring
I
that up.
don't know anything about anything. So she'll mention something, and I'm like, "What's that?" She's like, "I'll explain it to you later."
The bikini in a Drift Beauty Battle. Do I know where it is? Oh, hang on, hang on. Okay, just I'll be back in a second.
Sunshine, butterflies, something, something, lollipops.
This is what I watched instead of Serial Experiments Lane.
It reminds me of like that fighting game Dead or Alive or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, it's about two teams called the 86 Angels and Speed Lady,
Okay.
and it looks like total shit. It looks like it was shot on a phone.
So, okay, Sophie, speaking of this, our plan is we'll record one more cryptid,
Yeah,
and this way we'll have two of them left to edit. We'll have a
yeah,
total of 5 cryptids or fearsome creatures, and
yeah.
then we can move on to It Can't Be Helped.
Okay,
So, so we will probably touch on that.
yeah. I would like to point out before anyone's like, "Oh, were you like leching this?" No, I am not into any of this. I just watched it. It was a serene, weird experience watching exploitation exploiting something you don't actually care about. Um,
Mhm.
hang on. So, okay, Heartbreak. Ingrid, you fucking
Ingrid is a good girl.
Ingrid is a tail with an idiot attached. Um,
Oh, shade!
so okay, there's a question here. Question here.
Mhm.
If you could completely restore one piece of cut Bloodborne content, what would it be?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, you know what I would okay, I'm gonna commit to this. You know the whole wet nurse thing and how Yosefka looked
Yeah.
like the wet
Yeah.
nurse and like whatever this whole story was,
Hmm.
I would restore that.
Okay.
The whole Yosefka wet nurse demon of
Okay.
hatred or connection and
Less
story
than
and
minute
lore.
death and darkness. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
Probably. I would fix the lecture hall
Oh, yeah.
because it's really like it's just weird and confusing, and you have to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because like I get the impression they cut the lecture hall basically for pacing issues. But you still have to go there. So I would just like put the lecture hall back in Bergenworth. And keep the lake. We'll just put the lecture hall like to the side, like make it an L-shaped area.
Mhm.
Because it's so confusing and weird that it's like Bergenworth's here and then like is part of Bergenworth, but there's nowhere for it to have gone.
Mhm.
And it's in the nightmare, but where was it before? Or even just like have like a building shaped hole or something in Bergenworth to
Yeah.
make it. And it's so weird that like you have to like Willem, a man who appears to be about 100 years old and can't walk,
Yeah.
keeps the key to his door up a ladder.
Well, that's why he's stuck there. He can't get out. And somebody, no, somebody
It's a
let him
little
in.
it's a little weird.
You know what? I'm gonna change my answer. Restore the Willem fight.
Have I played Blasphemous? No, but I have got Blasphemous on my PS4. I just haven't actually played it.
I played it for like an hour. It's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Another question is from Jade. Sophie,
Mhm.
at what point did you realize your podcasts with Sin would become a regular thing?
But that's gonna be what point did you realize something else? I realized my podcasts with you were regular. I think when you like, I think it was a gradual thing when I realized like, because basically when you said it was going to take 6 months, it was going to take 3 months to get graded. And then basically one of when you do a dissertation, it's not graded by people at that institution. It's graded by people at other institutions. And one of
Mm-hmm.
the people who was grading mine was in it's called examining. One of my examiners was in Canada.
Okay.
And if you remember, no, that's not the funny part. If you remember, like around 20, I submitted at the end of 2017. If people remember, like 2018-ish, there was a big university strike
Right,
in
yes.
Toronto. Yeah,
Yeah.
they weren't examining it because of the university strike.
Mm-hmm.
So it got delayed due to the strike, and so I had nothing to do. Um, so the 3 months became 6 months, which became almost a year. I think
Mm-hmm.
it was eight. It was 8 months. I know for a fact it was eight because I submitted in December, and I heard back in August. So I had 8 months, which I thought was going to be three. And so I had no idea how long I was going to record with you for, because in my head it was like, oh, okay, you'll get the degree awarded, and then you'll just go into research or something. And that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept talking to you, and you've actually become my only stable source of income.
That's true, this podcast,
Yes.
because, yeah, yeah.
This is pretty much the only money I get.
That's actually, I guess we don't talk about it much because it's annoying and we don't want to. But yeah, like,
It pays for my addiction to LEDs.
there we go. Yeah. And like, that's true. It's your only stable source of income on the one hand, which
That
helps.
and selling things.
Yeah. And on the other hand, cuz I mean, I don't know, like cuz editing, you like don't want to edit and maybe that will change in the future, maybe not. We don't know. But because
I
of
think I ended up
past
doing it.
but like I don't know, but like I remember it gave you significant stress to certain,
Um,
you know.
the thing about editing is like I always try to cut things out when I'm editing.
Yeah.
Because like those ones that we did together that I edited,
Mhm.
they ended up like you were there, they were like 3 hours long, and I
Yeah.
made them 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what I do, and I feel like when you do things, it's the opposite.
Yeah. We need a middle.
Because you
Yeah.
yeah, you like the little digressions and things. And so I just feel like you're probably better at it because you create a very conversational flow to things when you edit. Whereas when I'm editing, I make everything like a presentation.
Mhm.
And I'm sure like it's got to be 45 minutes, it's got to be like this bit, this bit, this bit, and it has to be paced in a certain way.
Yeah.
That's probably because I actually have a background in editing.
Mhm. So you could
And
actually be
when
good at it.
no, but this is the thing. Like, for example, like the my graduating piece. Graduating. My graduating piece of film school. Sorry, you're just gonna jump on me again.
Mhm.
My graduating piece of film school was it had to be under 17 minutes. It's very, very strict if you're doing like short films. 17 minutes is basically the cutoff point. If it's anything longer than that, like they will just not accept it. Or they will sometimes accept it if you make an extremely good case for it. But it's like um shorts are about 15 to 17 minutes. They can't really be any longer than that.
Mhm.
And like prior to that, like I had done assignments that were 90 seconds.
Mhm.
Like you've got to make it to be 90 seconds long, can't be any longer. And there were ones that like it was a 30-second thing. Like this is a TV commercial, 30 seconds. You have a 30-second block, got to do it in 30 seconds. So I was trained to just like trim, 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 trim,
Mhm.
like make everything as concise as possible.
That the
And
podcast would be good.
would they?
Who knows?
I don't think they would because like all the little digressions and things are what people actually like. So I just feel
Mhm.
like You gotta. Dahlia, hey!
Hey! That's true, but that's not the main reason why you're not editing much. If we're being honest.
Like, we're being honest.
If we're being honest, it does cause you
Yeah.
significant stress, which manifests itself in different ways. One of
Yeah.
which is procrastination, for example.
Ooh.
So when you had to edit, I asked you to edit something, it took like a month or two or three, and it was
Do you know
like,
why that is? Do you know why that is?
are you gonna blame your old computer?
No!
What do you? Let's see. What is the excuse, Sophie?
Because, okay. Thank you, Sin.
I
I'm glad you're
apologize.
listening.
I'm joking. No, tell us.
Because, like, I got so much feedback on my old channel that, like, every single time, you know the concept of living rent-free in someone's head?
Yeah.
Every time I'm sitting down to edit something and I say something, this a little kind of like Gestalt 4chan Reddit person.
Yeah.
She's like, actually, you did. That's not. And they're like, you just said that. Well, if you've been paying attention, you would understand that. So I'm just become petrified of saying anything.
Yeah.
Because everything I say is going to be, probably not anymore, but at the time, was being picked over by people who basically just wanted to have a fight with me.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, everything I say will somehow be wrong. So everything has to be this absolutely watertight construct that cites a ton of sources because I don't want to fucking hear it. And then even when I do that, people don't pay attention.
So what you're saying is you can't take criticism.
Yes. No, I'm saying criticism is fucking tedious. And it's always from this position of like... This is why I hated the whole, like, oh, well, actually, the story's not supposed to make sense. Because it wasn't being deployed in an interesting way. It was just like, I'm gonna say it doesn't make sense as a way of saying that you're wrong because you said something about it. And it just got really tedious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, because we kind of wanted to talk about Bloodborne up close in the patron video, and then we're like, maybe we shouldn't mention it at all, because it's
Okay, no.
yeah.
The thing is, right. There's an awful lot of people saying like it's not good faith criticism, and like the thing is, there's a lot of people who um who see like discussions and things as it's a contest immediately. The second someone says something, it's like I have to prove them wrong. And like someone who was briefly talking to us and isn't anymore because they got so insufferable we blocked them, but they were like, it's the Socratic method. And it's this like fantasy of like being we're all just debating and we'll reach the truth someday. And really, like, they're doing that, and then there's other people, and it's not just me, it's like lots of people. Um, are just like zeroing in on like this is an interesting like thematic thing going on. Like the way that it's creating this like self-contained universe from all these like concepts about like the whole idea of like what is like beasthood. That's not like a fight I'm trying to have with people. It's
Yeah.
like it's a really interesting thing going on where like beasthood is like how humans used to be, but it's also somewhere that humans can go, and it's simultaneously like it's presented as something that is very primitive, but at the same time, like when they like in some senses they're actually less aggressive than humans are because if left to their own devices, they will just sleep. And like raise all these questions about like, well, are they actually even that unintelligent? Because we see them like worshipping in churches and things like that.
Hmm.
And the whole concept of and then like this other question of like, well, can beasts actually overcome this lust for blood? What is the difference between lusting for blood and being a beast? And there's all these other things in there about like, well, there's people that look human but qualify as a beast, and there's beasts that qualify as technically not being a beast, but they're still hunting for the same thing. And like, that's all this really interesting web of associations and ideas. And talking about that in a forum where people see that and they're just like, well, actually, the doll is Erden, is just like, it's so infuriating. And I'm
Yeah.
out of focus. This isn't
Ooh.
deliberate.
Ooh. 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 Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh. Ooh.
oh,
Oh.
oh, I'm back again.
Yeah.
Sorry, I look like this. But yeah, that's like,
Yeah.
it just became really like
Yeah.
tedious. Because, and it's like, we've got to like there's an answer and we have to get there first. And like, remember when like I would say things and people would leave comments basically saying you stole that from me, and I'm like, who are you?
Yeah.
It's like this is like these just things people can. Okay, I'll start over. All right. What irritates me is the notion that
This
because
is
the
live,
Souls game,
Sophie.
I don't give a shit. What irritates me specifically is the notion that like because the Souls games have that like puzzle box element to the storytelling, where like you'll be fed like here's a piece of information, here's another piece of information, another piece of information, and they actually all fit together, but you may not initially realize that because it's delivered in three different contexts. Or like you get the end of a story, and then in a completely different area you'll get the start of the same story. Because it does that, people treat it as though that's the be all and end all. It's just a puzzle that you have to solve, and whoever's like it's an ARG or something, and whoever solves it first has won. But at the same time, it's a puzzle that doesn't actually have answers. So they're just arguing over semantics, and it becomes like an endless like game theory video.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember someone saying like, "Well, we're still talking about Bloodborne. It's just like how people still talk about Moby Dick." And I'm like, "Yeah, people do still talk about Moby Dick, but they're not saying like Moby Dick theory. It's the same timeline as RoboCop. They're actually like getting into like the guts of what it's about, and I don't know.
Okay, I've never read Moby Dick, but now I might. Because I love
Okay.
Robocop. Okay, so people were asking about why Bloodborne Up Close is taking so long. And, well, I know
The
why.
answer is Elden Ring.
No, 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 no. I know the real answer why.
Okay.
I'm a little. And it's a little sensitive. It's a topic that's a little sensitive for me because Sophie is my best friend. She's one of my best friends. And, like, when she, it basically, recording Bloodborne Up Close may bring Sophie a significant amount of stress. And
I love you so much because you're like, this is very difficult for me. It's hard for me, and here's why. It's hard for me because it causes a huge amount of stress for this other person.
Yeah, because you're my friend,
Me.
and I don't want, like, it's because I've
No, no,
assisted to a
it's
couple
like,
of
yeah,
recordings, and I can
yeah.
attest. It's, you know how we do the podcasts.
It's
It's
stressful because of what I said,
Yeah,
because like I
exactly.
know that what I say is going to be
Yeah,
and it becomes like it's like writing a thesis.
yeah.
Because when I'm doing the thesis, I am aware as I'm going, okay, this is going to be someone is if I say this, it has to be backed up because otherwise the examiner is going to say, um, you did not consider X. The
Yeah.
thing is, a thesis, you have about 5 years to do that in, and you can edit it after you've written it. So like the problem with recording it live is like I'll record it live and mid-sentence I'll realize that I left something out.
Yeah.
And if I or there'll be or particularly given that Bloodborne is so fucking complicated in the way that everything is connected, if I say one thing about something in like one area and I know it's going to show up later on, I'll be like, that's not good enough because someone is going to be like, actually, you had been paying attention. And it's just like, I need to have the people not live in my head, but
Yeah.
they have. And I can't help it. It's just like, it's not a good mental space to be in, particularly because, like, and I know those people are searching for them, but
Yeah.
like, eh. It's got to do it. Like
Well,
I
yeah.
think the transition scared most of them off at this point. So whatever.
Okay. All right. So basically, yeah, like when we get in a good mental state, good mental
Well,
space,
yeah, yeah.
then we'll
I
record
think
more
that.
of them. But it might take a
Okay.
little while because it's not like it's not a
No, I
short
can do
journey,
it.
you know? Like
Yeah, yeah.
so that's it. It's just that's
Okay.
yeah. And it's
Oh no, I'll get back to doing them. Like
yeah.
I feel like one. Okay, so people might be aware of this, but like YouTube has it's privated a bunch of videos by itself.
Mhm.
If you had a video that was unlisted before a certain date, it
Yeah.
is now privated, and you cannot get to it anymore.
Yeah.
And a lot of my
Bloodborne up close. I think all of your Bloodborne up close
all
were
of them
before like 2017 or whatever.
all of them are now privated, but
Yeah.
it's on this channel. Like I don't even think I even have a login anymore. But like I'm now in a position where I feel like I actually could unprivate them and just have
Okay.
them out there because a lot of the like anxiety I felt over that channel was because I'm like, this is what everyone knows me for. And I don't like the idea that, like, because I was convinced I was not coming back to YouTube, like, when I left. Um, when I quit in, like, it was 2017-ish. It was actually a little bit before I met you.
2018, I think. No, 2017. 2017, you quit. Yeah.
2017, right? I was convinced I'm just not going to come back to YouTube. I don't want to deal with this anymore. But then I was like, the problem is, if I leave now, this channel with this stuff on it that I don't like and I think is stupid and bad,
Mhm.
that's my legacy. That's the thing I leave behind on this enormously popular platform.
Mhm.
Things that have like 6 digit, like Bastard's Curse had like 300,000 views, I think,
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
Um, I do not want this to be the thing that I'm remembered for. I don't mean like I'll do so much better in the future. I mean like
Well, clearly
if
you
I go
didn't.
like no, but I'm like if I go, this is what I leave behind.
Yeah.
So I felt a lot of anxiety over it, and
And
what's
luckily,
happened
you
with
got a message from Sin.
that
And
is
now,
true.
now we have a Brutus. We have
No,
Nostradamus
but
the
that's the thing.
vampire.
So like now I'm like okay, I can actually I'm fine with this shit existing now because all the problems I have with it, like it doesn't matter. So I can look at it and I can look at what I do now and I can say okay, I got better. So whatever. I might I try to yeah, like Sinister Mister saying, now you're remembered for Miyazaki's arm shop. Like that's true. No, but I'm fine with that. Cause like I remember like feeling like everything was like oh, I don't know. It wasn't good.
Yeah. So, long story short, we will finish Bloodborne up close. It's just
It
gonna
wasn't.
take the time it takes. That's the
No,
truth.
we will never finish it.
No, we'll finish
We'll
it
try
if.
we'll try to finish it. It'll be finished when the Bloodborne remaster comes out for the
There we go.
PS6.
It might. Listen, if it's one episode every 6 months, it's one episode every 6 months. Like, it is what it is. We're doing our best, and if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. Because people have
We're
not
not doing our
assisted.
best because I'm watching this
Oh my
instead of
god!
working.
People have not assisted to the actual recording. They don't know what it's like recording Bloodborne up close. And if they did, I think they'd be like, just do more Reborn. Just do more Reborn. Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope that answers all the questions and clears up all the misconceptions.
Can I okay, I will now explain what being trans is like to you with a metaphor you'll understand. Okay.
Okay.
You know when you're playing a video game and the character, you're pressing the button and they're not doing the thing you want them to do?
Oh, that's so frustrating.
That's what it was like.
Hmm.
So all that content is made by that person, and you have to imagine that I'm like Darkside Phil. I mean, it's bugged. It's not fucking working. This is stupid. Like that's my mental process the whole time. And it's like, okay, I dealt with it.
Hmm.
And I'm fine with things now, and consequently, I'm kind of okay with there being that old stuff because I'm like, I can just separate myself from that and say that was before and this is now.
Hmm. Cool. It's good. But
Yes,
one thing I think, like, I don't know if I guess I can mention it.
it doesn't matter.
Basically, because
Everyone who could potentially be annoyed at this left a long time ago and is still really salty about it.
but it's more like you before the transition and you now, because we've known each other for like since before your
4 years.
transition. Yeah, so like
Yeah.
and I was there when you went through it, and like I'm just really happy for you because back in the day before these things, like we would
Yeah.
talk, and sometimes like something minor would happen, or you'd have like a minor thing go wrong, and it would be very very stressful for you. It would be
Yeah.
like oh my god. But ever since you transitioned,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, kind
other
of
yeah,
before then,
yeah,
like,
what, sorry?
I guess, like, the thing about this is it started almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, Even like I know I didn't come out until like a few months ago,
yeah,
but like it was before then.
yeah,
I
yeah,
I know
like
I know people. There are some people who think that like that was the day I decided. So I'd like to. I'm wearing this top so you can all see that like this has been going for a while.
yeah.
Okay. So like it had been going for a long time and like sorry, my headphones fell out. Basically like from the moment it's been almost half and half. It's like the first half of us knowing each other I was depressed.
Yeah.
And then the second half, it's been good.
Yeah, so that's what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted to say is that ever since like your transition started and you came out and
yeah,
everything, like you've been like I've seen a big change in you
yeah,
in a
yeah,
positive way.
yeah.
Aside from like obviously we all have good days, I'll have bad days, I'll have
Mm.
whatever, but like things seem to be better for you and I'm really like happy for you in that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like I had insomnia essentially every night from the ages of about 14 to 35.
Yeah.
And like I was in like a terror. Like I know we make fun of like old photos where I'm like really fat and have a beard.
Mhm.
But like that's because I was in a terrible like state mentally, and I was just like complete like my mental and physical health were like absolutely like flatlining. I was terrible.
Mhm.
And like I guess the one thing I can say is at least I took it out on myself and not other people. But yeah.
Yeah.
And like but basically what I'm getting at is like because I'm over it. Um I'm more comfortable with like old shame things. It's like I don't give a shit. Like that was
Okay,
just
yeah.
like something I did and it doesn't define me because I moved on from it.
Okay. One thing I think we need to address, and you owe me an apology for, that I never got. So we're doing some drama, some drama. So this bitch, sends me a message about how she's going to the doctor because like something's wrong. And then so she went to the doctor and they did a thing. She got results and basically, like they don't know what's wrong, but it might be cancer. Like it was that's
Yeah,
what
I
she
remember
told me.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember? So this is me like, wait, what? It might be cancer. So then Sophie had to go back to the doctor again, and she did, and it was very stressful for everyone. And then she comes back one day and she's like, I went to the doctor for the final time. Like, we know what this is. Like, and I'm like, okay, well, what is this? And she's like, well, I'll tell you tomorrow. Good night. And bitch leaves. So here I am, and no, and before leaving, no, it was more dramatic than that. I apologize. My brain is being very nice. First of all, she was like, it was very somber. She's like, I got the results. And she just started saying, like, I don't know how this will affect my future. I don't know how this will affect the podcast. I don't know how, like, all these dramatic shit. I'm like, okay, what's the results? Bye, good night, I'll tell you tomorrow. So I had to, like, stress over for the next 12 hours, being like, oh my god, Sophie has 6 months to live. And I had to, like, I don't know. It was, and then she comes online again, right? So I'm like, yes. So what's happening? What is going on? And she tells me like she doesn't even get to it. She tells me a backstory. She tells me this and that, and then, finally she says what it is, and that we talk about transitioning, and
Mm,
that's it.
mm, yeah.
So, where's my apology for stressing me for all the time and including those 12 hours?
Okay, you can have an apology, and it can be from my endocrinologist
Okay.
because he is the one. This is what happened. Now, when I started medically like supervised HRT, they had to take my hormone levels to ascertain what my normal baseline was. And they took them, and then they said, "Oh, your hormone levels are all over the place. We're gonna need you to go and get we're gonna need you to go and get an MRI." And I'm like, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, it might be a tumor." I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Okay, go get the MRI." And that was just like, "All right, cool." I was like, "You might have cancer. Bye. We'll see you next time and tell you if it's cancer or not." And yeah, that's what happened. It was horrible. It was just like,
But what about me?
oh yeah. Yeah, they can apologize to you.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll give you their contact details.
Also, apparently this bitch, now I want more apologies, more apologies. Apparently this bitch was nervous about telling me.
I actually can't hear you keep cutting out.
Apparently this bitch was nervous about telling me in the first place. Which,
Why would I be nervous?
I don't know, but I take offense.
I'm being sarcastic.
So I'd like an apology for that.
Can I point out, this is literally Sin's response to like dysphoric episodes. Oh my god, you dramatic ass whore, get better!
That's an exaggeration.
Not an exaggeration.
You're painting me in a very negative light right now.
An exaggeration. What? God. Oh, what is it now? What is it now, you dramatic ass bitch? What's the problem? What's the problem? Anyway.
Thank you, Sophie.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want me to talk about? Do you want me to talk about how I didn't have cancer?
Well, that's good.
It has a good ending to it.
Yeah.
No, the best part was like, they said, okay, after I had been through a fucking MRI, they're not that fun. You have to lie in a thing and a thing spins around and it's
I've done a few
claustrophobic
of
and
them
weird.
for research purposes.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
fine.
Actually, they were good because they give you a Spotify playlist.
Oh, you got a
in it.
playlist? I didn't get anything because they were
It's a
looking
playlist.
at like research, right? So it
I
had
got
to
it.
be silence. It was just like.
I got to choose anything on Spotify to listen to while I
Oh.
was in the machine. Yeah, I listened to the Fooly Cooly soundtrack.
Oh.
Yeah. So what they discovered was like, oh, okay, good thing you don't have cancer, but your hormone levels are still all over the place, and that's when they realized that I had malformed hormone receptors. And I'm like, what does that mean? And they said, well, um, basically your hormones are going up and down all the time. You basically have PMS. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, you're not menstruating, but you have the symptoms. And then it was one of those situations that's like, that makes actually a lot of sense. Because if you think about like what was wrong with you beforehand, and it's like, well, you have weight fluctuations, you have mood swings, and you have acne breakouts. And it had just never occurred to anyone that those could be hormonal. Because I had been put on so many different, I've been put on like antidepressants, I've been put on like other shit to just like keep everything under control. Because it had always been assumed it was a psychological problem that I had. That I was like bipolar or something. And it's like, no, it's hormonal, and we just never thought it could be hormonal. So
Better late than never, I guess.
well, okay.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you, Sid.
Padeco is asking, what are your blood types?
I don't know.
Me neither. Is that a problem?
No, only for anime characters.
Okay. Thank you for that question. I hope it clears things up. Emily is saying, considering Sophie is a trophy and Sin is a win, where do dragons come in? That's so cute. Thank you, Emlyn. Rorik is asking. Rorik is also somebody who does art for us. They do
True,
the
yeah,
Saturday
yeah.
Night Snack Covenant logos.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your favorite thing to cook with rice?
Are you going first? Or... I make sushi.
I mean, I like everything with rice. Rice is like a good side dish.
I make sushi, and Sin is amazed at how good I am at rolling.
Yeah, she's so good. She can roll it. I have a bazooka, and I have a. It still turns out like shit. I gave up. But yeah, so once Sophie moves to Canada, she can make me sushi.
Shame that we're separated, because like I cook all the time and you eat all the time,
Yeah.
but we can't
It's
be
like
close.
it's like tragic love.
It is.
Sinister says, if you ever need an emergency transfusion, yeah, that's a problem. Thank you, Sinister. Sinister and Danny and a few other people have been coming to the horror stream and the adventure streams.
Oh,
Thank you, yeah.
I might actually do my own adventures.
You should! Because
I
Australia
should.
is a dangerous place. You have giant spiders and radioactive kangaroos.
That's true. The worst part is you probably do have radioactive kangaroos because we're very, very cavalier about uranium mining.
It's true. We talked about it in the
Yeah.
Callisto Protocol. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I'm thinking of actually getting a GoPro
Yeah, that would be so
because
cool.
I walk everywhere,
Yeah.
as you know. Yeah.
That would be really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Should.
I've shown you the swamp that I go to.
You showed me a lot of things. I don't know if you showed me
Yeah,
this one.
yeah.
Oh, Sophie! And Sophie, if people want to help you find the GoPro, Pro-Go, where can they go?
They can go to patreon.com/sinclairlaw. And
The good
if
thing
I get it, I also, the worst part is I would also need a new, I sound like I'm begging, I'm sorry. I'd also need a new phone.
Oh, that's true.
This
Yeah.
phone is so old that, seen as my wallpaper, by the way, I should turn that off.
I'm here. I'm also the ringtone. Look at that. It's the iconic.
This phone is so old that it actually can't do the GoPro app.
Oh.
So I need to upgrade to an iPhone 6.
So you know how people are like, oh, Sin has Sophie chained up in her basement. No, it's the opposite. She's obsessed with me. Look at that. We have proof.
That's true.
Huh.
I'll do the ringtone in case people haven't heard. Oh.
We didn't hear it. Oh.
That's also my alarm. So like every I'm woken up. Oh, hang on. I'll play my. This is my text notification.
Right.
This is Scarlet. Hi, this is Scarlet.
Yes.
Hi, Miku. This is Scarlet.
Thank you, Sophie.
Oh, did I ever get a new window? No. But okay, the good thing is, my window is open all of the time now. My window's outside of the room. It's open all the time to let feral cats in.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that there's a gap in the window is now irrelevant.
There we
This
go.
is also a giant gap. All this
There we
cold
go.
air is coming in. I've been sleeping in piles of blankets because it's winter here.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you. He may. I don't know if he'll show up tonight. He
He
usually does.
might. I think he might. Yeah, he's cute.
He's pretty reg. There's a along with Ingrid. I don't have a
Yes.
cat. This is Ingrid lives next door, and she
Oh.
comes to visit me because she doesn't like their other pets. But there's a very, very fluffy black and white feral cat who comes in through the window, and he eats out of Ingrid's bowl.
Mm-hmm.
He comes by pretty frequently, so we'll see if he shows up tonight.
Oh. So Doom Kitty 3000.
Mm-hmm.
Doom Kitty is asking, which episode or project did you have the most fun making?
Reborn?
Reborn, 100% Reborn.
Reborn was hard for me to listen back to.
Why?
Because I remembered myself being, like, very rude and dismissive about Reborn.
But it was
But,
cute and
li-
funny.
Listening back to him, like, I actually don't come across that badly.
No. No.
But in my head, I'm like, what is this terrible anime? It's not intelligent. This is dreadful. This is beneath me. But yeah, that's not what it was.
No,
I
but
haven't got my
also-
gamer chair turned
Yeah,
on.
what?
I'll
What?
turn it on now.
Oh, gamer
Let's
chair,
turn the
yes.
gamer chair on. This is an extremely like. Here we go. Wow.
Hi, Bob. Oh, nice.
I made this. It's literally. This is an office chair with some LED flex that is held on with shower curtain rings.
That's amazing. That's creative.
This is good because it actually probably lights the background.
Yeah.
I've had this on before.
Bob is actually one of the people who's been here like for a really long time.
Oh my god, Bob Woods, yes, you are like, you're incredible.
Like a true cultist. Like
Yeah.
beyond, like whatever, ascended. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Season 2 of Reborn when? Once we do some other stuff, we'll get to Season 2 of Reborn.
Can't wait.
You guys should do a Reborn watch party. Yes.
Aren't some of the seasons like 2 episodes long?
I don't know.
My understanding is like, it's like normal sort of like anime season lengths,
Mm-hmm.
and then at some point it just stops and becomes like this season is 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's, I guess, troubled development. And you know, my boyfriend, he watches anime a lot, so sometimes I just watch random episodes with him. A lot of shows are copying Reborn. Like, there's one show that has a baby, a
Mhm.
powerful baby, and then another show has Gokudera, and then another show has Hibari.
Yeah,
and-
yeah,
And sometimes they have like Gokudera with like Ryohei's personality.
yeah.
Like I don't know. Like how can anime keep getting away with this?
It's so weird. And also there's like this. The worst part is there's shows that are before Reborn that also have those exact characters in them.
Yeah,
I know.
I don't appreciate that. They're all boring shows though, because Reborn is the only good one.
I mean, at this point.
Thank you, Sophie. Agent Funk is asking, what's a food you hated as a kid that you now love as an adult? Borscht? I don't know.
Do you actually? Okay, I'm saying this now. Sin woke up like about 5 hours ago, and I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "I'm having breakfast, borscht." And I don't know if that was a typo or she was actually having borscht for breakfast. Sin, were you having borscht for breakfast?
My mom made borscht yesterday and she brought it over, so yeah. Also, to correct it, why are you saying borscht?
Because I don't fucking know.
There's no T in the end, it's borscht.
Okay.
Borscht.
Borscht.
Sh. I think there's a soft
Borscht.
sign in the end. Is that? I don't know Russian. But yeah, it's just borscht. Wait, but is there a soft sign before it? Russian is so complicated. We need to reform the Russian language. Just too many rules. I don't appreciate that. Thank you. The next question
I didn't
is...
say what mine was.
You don't eat though. Only I eat in this duo.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. What's your favorite? Thank you, Sophie, for that invaluable input.
Probably curry.
Okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think I ever had curry as a kid. We didn't have that in the union, I don't think.
I used to live above a curry place. I never went there.
Hmm. I love curry
Every
though.
day I'd go out the front door and I'd look and I could see the curry place as I walked by. And I'd think one day, never happened and now it's gone.
Oh, thank you, Sophie. Agent Funk is asking, what's your favorite Mila Jovovich movie?
What is it?
Oh God, there's so many. But we will be covering Ultraviolet
Yeah.
later down the line, as well as the Ultraviolet anime. I like
Yeah.
how people know us. Al Hazard is like Ultraviolet, and then Switch Fairy actually made a comment saying it's Ultraviolet.
That's a good
um,
question. Like, what is the best movie that Mila Jovovich has been in?
Fifth Element.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
She's in Zoolander. That's pretty good.
Actually, yeah, that's the second
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Doom Kitty is informing me that the T in the English spelling of borscht comes from the Yiddish version of the word.
Oh!
Hmm.
Well, I learned something today. Thank you. Somebody, I lost the where I was, but somebody was asking what kind of build are you gonna play in Elden Ring?
We don't know because it's not there.
I'll play a strength build.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Marie Kondo build.
yes.
Clear out the area.
Yeah.
I feel like what happened is when I first started playing the Souls games, I was very conservative and very defensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I always played a cleric because I would have like healing spells,
Mm-hmm.
which would supplement like the Estus recovery. And I find that like the more I've gotten used to it, the more I'm just playing like really, really aggressively. So yeah, I'll probably go like Glass Cannon.
Okay.
We haven't been streaming them at all, but like I've been doing Dark Souls 2, what I'm calling the 39K runs. Because Dark Souls 2, for people who don't know, it has this really fucking bizarre matchmaking system
Yeah.
that's based on the total number of souls you've absorbed through the playthrough. And it divides them into tiers. And there is a ring that you can get from Strayed. If you equip the ring, you stop absorbing souls, but the ring will not spawn until you already have 30,000 soul memory. And that tier is 30,000 to 39,999.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I've been doing is trying to finish the game with characters who have that ring and are on exactly 39,999. And trying to come up with builds that can comfortably fit within that amount of souls. And it's like I have a I have a character with the Moonlight Sword. +5 raw. Just hanging around the first area co-oping against Last Giant.
Sophie's been
And like
obsessed with Dark Souls too.
a little bit. There's a lot of build variety in it. Once I found out that like because I thought, oh, I can't use the boss soul weapons because you have to pay for them, which is like I go over budget. But I then found out that the first boss soul trade weapon you do with Ornifex is free. So I beat Freya in New Game Plus on level 24 with completely unupgraded armor and weapons
Amazing.
just so I could get the Moonlight.
You're me. You're using unupgraded weapons. I'm so proud of you.
I'm using unupgraded everything and I'm level 20. She everything one-shotted me. It was horrible.
Oh no.
2 days.
Oh.
I beat Vendrick.
Hmm. Really cool. that's all the
Yep.
questions I
Yeah.
have from Discord, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Are there any questions in chat? Oh, the question is, why is Ingrid so cute?
Well, the problem with Ingrid's quite, she's biting me right now. Ingrid is, how old are you? Like, she's 15 years old.
Oh.
So she's gotten to the age where her claws have trouble retracting. So her claws are permanently out, basically, and as she's sitting on me, she'll just be like. So like every time I go and have a shower and I look down, I'm covered in all these little red like scratches and little nicks because she's just all fucking day.
Thank you, Manuel. Hi, Dankmoon.
Hi.
Hi, HK. Hi, everyone. Harvey. Have you
Do you
discovered
want to
any
watch
more?
this for the channel?
Yes, we're gonna
It's
watch
just sitting
all
on
the
my desk
anime.
looking at 'em.
Okay, what
Okay.
we're gonna do? Okay, let's see what the chat says. What if we stop
Mhm.
Bloodborne content and do Sophie's shitty animes?
I feel like the depths of that does not fully register with most people because like I can't reach all the way over, but actually maybe I can. Um, like those are all two DVDs deep, and it's mostly shit I have never watched. Um, I've brought it up a little bit, but like when I've lived in Melbourne 2 times a month, but like when I lived in Melbourne, from 2008 to 2011, I lived very, very close to Chinatown in Melbourne, which is absolutely full of just bootleg DVDs. So I would just buy armfuls and armfuls and armfuls and armfuls of them. And I never watched most of them because there's just so many. There's something like 500 of them
Okay.
because they were all like $1 each. And I was there for 4 years. So
Yeah.
I have tons of them. I've never watched most of them. They just sit there. And I can't resell them because they're of no value. But I don't want to get rid of them.
Hmm.
And the thing is, like, a few of them are actually transfers of VHS tapes that you can't get anymore.
Whoa.
Because they're transfers of, like, um, yeah, like dubs and stuff that, like, I watched when I was a teenager. And that dub is not available anymore, but some enterprising person bootlegged it. So I've got like the dubs of like Dominion Tank Police and stuff that you can't legally acquire anymore. So there's a lot of crap, and of course, classics like Drift Beauty Battle. The
Hmm.
thing about the thing about these movies, right, is everything at the store was illegal, and they were presumably desperately trying to keep the things turning over,
Hmm.
like trying to get rid of the stock as soon as they could. And what happened was, you would go in there and it would literally be like 5 for $5,
Hmm.
but you couldn't buy less than 5. If you tried to buy one that's no, you have to buy 5. You can't buy. We will not even charge you $5 for one.
Yeah.
It's got to be 5 for 5 or nothing. So if I wanted one thing, I had to get 5 things.
That's
And that's
amazing.
why there's so many. I loved it so much that I actually, hang on, it's gone now. It was clearly shut down because it was illegal. But like,
Oh,
see that
the bag?
the yellow thing in the middle
Yeah.
with the characters? That's a bag from the bootleg store.
That's so cool.
I missed it so much that I found one of the bags and I framed it.
Oh.
That's on Side Seven's work as well, next to it.
Yeah, the stickers.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That little pig, that was $2 at like a dollar store.
That is so cute.
I don't know who made it or why. It's just a pig with a bow on a canvas.
Mm.
Anyway.
Okay. So, Sophie, I
Mm.
made a quick poll in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
27% of people said keep doing Bloodborne, but 70, now it's 74. 74% said Sophie's shitty anime collection.
People have spoken.
People spoken. So the plan
Okay.
is we record the Leprechaun, because that's the last one we have to do out of the 5. Fearsome critters.
Yeah.
And we start with the shitty anime. Oh my god, I have some exciting news for everyone! Okay, so for the past, I don't know how many years, I've been asking people, do you know the anime I'm talking about? I saw it in my childhood in the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And it has robots that are like cyclopses that are blue and red, and like an abandoned city, and a girl on a motorcycle that flies, and like she had some companions, and like we would ask and nobody would have any idea what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked around the internet. The internet is so smart. And some people were like, oh, obviously it's this anime.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody know what anime I was actually talking about?
Alhazred's requesting Ghazi's wing, which I do in fact have.
We will do it. I'm trying to find it now. Did I lose it again?
I've forgotten what it's called! While Sin finds it, this is also
Yeah.
Sin going like, does anyone remember this movie? It was about a detective?
Oh no, did
You
I
heard
lose it again? No, because I just typed the what I thought was the name into Google. It's not Evangelion. It's a not popular anime from like the 80s or 90s.
Isn't it called Rebirth?
Yeah, it's supposedly called Rebirth, but I can't. Rebirth anime.
Rebirth? Reborn?
That's what it
There
keeps
I was
telling
here.
me. It keeps showing me Reborn, but I'm low in Rebirth. 90s.
Google, you've just destroyed Google algorithm. It's just like, well, if Sin's searching for it, it must be Reborn.
Uh, that's so weird. Last time I typed it in, it popped up. So does anybody know an anime called Rebirth?
You?
Do I? Whoa,
Apparently
whoa.
you don't.
Is that Google saying it knows? It was a dream? Maybe. Well, wait, now I'm gonna look through our conversation. Now it's disappeared from our conversation? What?
It's gonna be like a lost media creepypasta, and it turns out the thing never existed. You were just staring
Amnesia
at a
Rebirth.
TV the whole time.
Was it
Then
Reborn?
Rambo appeared behind me with bloodstains under his eyes.
This is so weird. I got so excited and now I lost it again. This is so weird. How did I lose it? I did tell you, remember this, it's Rebirth, yeah? Let's try Rebirth sci-fi anime. Like the pictures, they're not there, cause like I would go to Google Pictures and I saw it.
Doom Kitty has a link in the chat that might be what you're looking for.
Okay, Doom Kitty has a link. No, that's not it, Doom Kitty! No, it's a sci-fi anime with the Cyclopses. Check your browser okay, let's check our browser history. What a twist.
Remember it really clearly? Reborn came out of a clock and abducted a child?
What? What?
I'm gonna go look for stuff to talk about. You can...
Okay, okay, apparently I don't have any Rebirth in my search history. What? I it I don't understand what is happening. I don't understand.
So while Sin looks at this, let's go through this. This is just a random pile. So we're starting with.
Yes.
Okay, so these are amazing. These are these like 8-in-1 packs they would sell. And this one is called Japanese Popular Actress Violent Action Photo Featured. And you might think to yourself, this doesn't really look official, but fool that you are, you did not notice. It has the HBO logo on it. So it must be official. And these are 8 movies on one DVD. It's a single layer DVD. They're coded at about 240p. But nevertheless, it is 8 movies I had never seen before. And some of them are actually kind of reasonably well known. Like if anyone knows the Gun Crazy movies, they're like a series of Japanese. Are they Japanese? Like basically just like women with guns shooting things, like sort of girls with guns on a mission films. That like 3 of them are on here, and like this weird thing called Cool Dimension. It's basically like, I don't know, kind of like Charlie's Angels, but really depressing and half an hour long. So this is, a lot of value in Japanese popular actress violent action photo featured.
Sophie, I found it. I found
Good.
it.
Good.
It's called Birth. I got a little confused with Birth and Reborn and put them together in my mind. The anime, okay, let's do this again because I feel like it's a little anticlimactic. So the
Hi, Black
anime,
Bolt.
good day. The anime that I've been looking around for years has finally revealed itself, and it's called Birth. And I will
Birth.
link Birth, yeah. There it is. And the synopsis says Aqualoid was a prosperous planet, but an attack from a mysterious force, the inorganics, transformed it into a post-apocalyptic shell of its former self. Oh. When Nam finds a mysterious sword, he is suddenly the object of a planet-wide chase. With the inorganics closing in, will Nam and his friends discover the secret of the sword and save the world? Or will they destroy Aqualoid in favor of a new birth?
Ooh.
Yeah.
There's a quick question in the chat. So, Zephyl Fendris for Hansel says, why is Bloodborne up close down? So, like, we talked about that before, but I guess you weren't here. Basically, YouTube has privated everything that was unlisted before a certain date. So, they're privated. I can unprivate them if I log back into that account, but I cannot remember password is. Eventually, I'll get back into it, and I'll just make them all public again, and you can watch them. But I don't think they're that good.
Also, we're doing a Bloodborne up close remake.
Yes.
1 episode a year.
About to speed the old one on it. Do you want me to go over like more of the things I found? Because I didn't know how long this was going to take, so I grabbed like half a dozen.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So this is Black Rock Shooter, the movie. I don't know how many people know Black Rock Shooter, but from my understanding, basically someone drew this character, and then they made a game and a movie just based on the character. Like they liked the design.
Okay.
I've never watched this, but I have a friend who's into the Black Rock Shooter PSP game, so maybe we can talk about that one day.
Yeah.
Also, like a common thing with these is like the back cover will just be like some fan art.
Hmm.
Like I'm fairly sure that's not official. I think they got this from like a brew or something. Um, what else? Here's a good example: Robot Carnival. This is an extremely well regarded series of animated shorts that did not have a DVD release for the longest time. It was on VHS. The VHS went for a fuck ton. I actually have the VHS of this. It was worth a huge amount before the
Wow.
DVD came out. This is not the official DVD. This is
Hmm.
just a pirate version. But like the pirate version was the only way you could get the DVD for God knows how long.
Okay.
So thank you, pirates. I guess. I mean, the people who made it
Arr.
didn't make any money from this, which isn't very good. But it was the only way you could get it digitally. So you know, there you go. I have the official one. It's all right.
Okay.
Um, here's a German copy of Old Boy.
That's iconic. German copy of Old Boy.
I don't know why they had this, but like, yeah, it's Old Boy, but it's all in still in shrink wrap. Because I'm like, why
Oh,
am I
it's gonna
watching
be
Old
worth a lot
Boy?
one day.
Oh, I'm sure it will. Um, this doesn't have a cover, and it's just some fire and some people shooting.
Okay. Cool.
Looks like a trip. Looks like a trip. Could be good.
Yeah.
Could be Kino. Could be Kino. Um. Uh. Power Kids. I know.
Is this like a
Um.
Spy Kid sequel?
Uh. This is like I think this is Indonesian Power Kids. Oh no, it looks like it's I think it's Thai. But yeah, this is I think this actually did reasonably well. It's not here.
Okay.
Oh, from the producer of Ong Bak. Yeah, this must have been a good release. This is a good one. This is a good one.
Hmm.
So this is called Son of the Dead. It
Okay.
is a Chinese zombie film, and
Is
if you
it the one
watch it,
where the director apologizes?
the director apologizes. This time, you have a
Amazing.
DVD of Son of the Dead, and you put it in. The first thing that happens is you get a card on the screen, which is the director apologizing. Oh, not here.
That's beautiful.
Saying that he'd never made a film before, it was very difficult. Don't be too harsh.
Oh.
I know, and like, you'll never find anything like this outside of a weird bootleg store, so,
Yeah.
you know. Oh no, that's all right. I don't feel uncomfortable. We talked about this before. This is me addressing Zephyl, but like, I don't feel uncomfortable about them anymore. I just sort of forgot about them. But oh, okay. Aki's like about the Chinese government and zombies. So like, this is my understanding of it, and I am not entirely sure. I could
Hmm.
ask Bubble, but she's not here.
Hmm.
Um, the thing about like the supernatural in Chinese cinema is it's allowable if it's very clearly not like real.
Hmm.
So like in that place I would go, there were so many Chinese ghost comedies. The idea being because it's like a parody comedy, it's okay to put ghosts in it because they're not portrayed as like in the real world. They're portrayed as in like a stupid comedy.
Hmm.
That's my understanding of it. There's a Chinese Ghostbusters, like there was the whole thing about Ghostbusters not being released in China, but like there was a Chinese Ghostbusters knockoff called Ghost Buddies that I have there somewhere.
Amazing.
They're the Ghost Buddies.
Thank you, Sophie. Well, how long have we been
Two
streaming for? It's been over 2 hours.
and a half hours. About 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I think we could start wrapping it up. Maybe do another one next weekend or
Yeah,
whenever.
I guess.
Gonna do chores. Oh. Look at that.
Okay, you lied. 65% want
No,
2D anime.
that's with time, because more people voted.
I think people voted, and then when I said all right, they changed their vote because
She's
they
like,
realized it
no,
wasn't a joke
change it back.
anymore.
Oh Oh, we can do a poll on the YouTube tab too. Oh, let's
Um,
see.
Do you want me to go get more DVDs to talk about?
No, I have to go to chores, Sophie. We
Okay.
have to. Also, it's late for you. We have to.
3:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Gotta get our beauty chores and beauty sleep, you know.
Dahlia says she has a Blackrock shooter Figma.
Hmm?
Oh, there's 2 Blackrock shooter things. Wow.
It's
I didn't know I
amazing.
did.
Yeah. By the way, we post when we do AMAs or streams or whatever. We post it on Discord, but
Well, you on Discord, I don't.
yeah, yeah. But like usually people get notified if they subscribe and ring the bell, but not always. So if you
That's the
wanna,
good thing about it.
yeah, what?
Subscribe and ring that bell to ensure you don't miss out on some of the uploads.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but we always like add everyone on Discord. So if it doesn't work for you, you can check out Discord. What else? We also post it on Twitter, but not like every time, cause
I love it when you get updated, like you get the bell notifies you for something that happened 3 days ago.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that Vardy's uploaded some stuff about Elden Ring?
I'm not subscribed to Buddy though.
She is, don't worry. Please don't kill us.
Yeah, so I'll make a poll on the actual YouTube thing and see what people say about anime. And yeah, we are recording a Bloodborne thing with Bean this week though, so that's cool.
Do you want to talk about that?
No. Okay, once in the past 4 years, me who does all the scheduling, me who replies to the emails, me who, like, I do all the administrative work for the podcast. One time I didn't realize that time zones are, like, messed up. So, instead of showing up on time, we showed up, like, 6 hours early. And then we realized, oh my god, but Bean was very nice. She's like, don't worry, we can reschedule. So one time I messed up a time zone. And so we're recording later this week. And it's going to be about Mikolash with meat.
Yeah, again.
Yeah. Because we did record something with her like a few years ago about Mikolash.
Yeah.
But, yeah, what? Yes, go.
I have a story about that that's heartwarming.
Yeah?
So when we recorded that, it was also about 3:30 in the morning, and I could hear some people screaming at each other
Okay.
over the road. Remember that?
I think
Yeah.
vaguely.
People screaming at each other. And the thing is, like, around, like, that area, there is a meth lab.
Oh.
There was a house that was operating as a meth lab. And, we started talking about that. And then, anyway, a couple of days later, the meth lab actually got shut down by the cops, right?
Yeah.
But because, I assume related to the incident, but, like, because, it was full of all these chemicals and shit, they basically, like, they quarantined it, like, you couldn't go into the house. They just basically put this barrier up and said, no one's allowed in here for a really long goddamn time.
Yeah.
And, it was finally, I guess, technically decontaminated or something, late last year.
Okay.
And they went in there and they found all of these cacti that presumably the meth cook was keeping. And they just survived because they're cacti. They can survive
amazing.
pretty much anything. No, and they put them out the front and said, who wants free cacti?
Did you get any?
You can kind of see them back there. They're in those little tanks.
Oh my god.
The cacti in those tanks are escaped from a meth lab.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's a beautiful story.
Yeah, yeah. The house is currently being knocked down. I have a suspicion the number of stray cats that are showing up are doing it because the like that they all lived in that house because it was abandoned. So it's
Okay.
just full of stray cats, and now they're knocking it down. I think that's why they're all coming here because they've got nowhere to go.
Sad.
Yeah. Same thing happened with we there used to be like a grain malting silo. Who knows what? Like just a big silo full of grain that was being malted, and it was full of rats, and they demolished that, and there was this fucking rat plague because all the rats that lived at the silo had nowhere to go anymore. So one day there's just like rats going down this trying to find a new house to live in. Ah,
Hmm. Thank you, Sophie, for that wonderful story.
it's lovely.
Sophie,
Hmm.
do the outro.
That was what was this?
Anniversary
This
AMA.
this is Sen and I's friend anniversary. It's not the anniversary of the podcast. The anniversary of the podcast would actually be um
Like
like
December?
yeah, it would be all like early January, I think, was Queen of Lothric. Queen of Lothic, you called it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this is it's the anniversary of us becoming friends, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're talking about like the sliding doors thing where like reality goes in two directions. And I think for everything that is going horribly wrong, this is still the good timeline. Because we're friends.
I think my reality could have been much better. I could have had a good channel.
Yeah,
Could
yeah.
have had a awesome reputation as opposed to, oh, Shin who's keeping Sophie hostage. He dead, bitch. You know, could have had the good life.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is, there were some people who like Philomena and Autumn, who who liked you because like you were different, and then I
Yeah.
joined,
Yeah.
and they grew to tolerate me. And then there's all the other people that. Oh, finally, Shin's not in this episode. Music to my ears.
I
I'm just
know,
like,
I know. Yeah.
they fucking. This is the thing when they're like, the people who are like, oh, Shin's got trapped in the basement. They fucking think it works that way. There's this whole fucking narrative, mostly unfortunate, that like, I have Stockholm syndrome, and I just can't leave or something, because they can't grasp that we're actually friends.
Yeah.
And they think that everything that happened since then is like you ruining my life and break. It was the fucking other way around. Like, no, you will attest to this that like everyone who thinks, which is most of them, that like I was the serious one and you were like this social justice manic pixie dream girl who ruined my life, completely the other way around. I had
That
to explain all this shit to you.
it's true. I had no,
I
no.
had
That's
to
very true.
explain Judith
Yeah.
Butler to you.
The what?
I had to explain like Judith Butler and shit to you.
Yeah, I still don't know who
Yeah,
she is, but at least I
she's,
know more than
she's
I did
over there
before.
somewhere.
Yeah,
She's in the
yeah, this
bookstore.
bitch, whenever there's any like topic and I'm like, what is it? She's like, well, this and that and this and that and society and yeah, I
Yeah. Because we talked about this like on the one you linked earlier, like the Sophie Sin thing,
yeah.
where it was like I was not in a good place mentally. And my way of dealing with that on the channel was like I just won't be myself as much as I can. It will be like as distant and objective as I can be. And then we were talking like it reached this point where like I had people in my comments getting angry at me for saying like, can you not use slurs? Because they assumed it was fine. And that was happening at the same time, literally, that I was like part of the campus LGBT gender like reading group. And it's like these two things are incongruent. And that was sort of when I started not caring. Because it's like, yeah, the person that like people were, but that's not even really true though, because like so many people who are still around are people who were there and did see a different person. But there's this, I think they sort of they think that I was one of them and I got corrupted.
Hmm.
But like I am not one of them and I was never one of them, and lots of other people could see that that wasn't the case. And if they are still clinging to that, that is a them problem. The worst one actually was this post that was like, it was like, I used to listen to Aegon, and then he said something where he was in favor of safe spaces. So now I listen to Richard. And that was just horrifying. So I'm like, I am so much worse than Aegon. All
It's
right?
true, she is. She is.
Absolutely.
I can attest.
Absolutely. Aegon does not go far enough. But it was just like Dali is there, and like I remember Dali from El Chan, and like Alhazred as well is
Hmm.
another one who was like there. And it's like they saw through it. So I don't know. I'm happy with where I am.
That's the important thing. You
Yeah.
gotta do what makes you happy. You gotta be where you are happy.
Yeah, communists saying it's good that Richard died, and that's true. They've never been happier that Richard's dead. To be honest, Richard was gonna die one way or the other.
Oh, Sophie.
It's true. It's true.
Well, yeah, I'm very happy we met though. Like, in all
Yeah.
honesty, like, I'm
Yeah.
very happy I have this friendship.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. We
You're
complement
almost
each
as
other
cool
well.
as the Greeks.
We complement it. What's happened actually is that like we've become increasingly distinct from one another. We gave each other license to get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Do
the
you have anything
most
to say?
awkward outro ever, Sophie.
Why?
Feel like there's too many pauses I cannot edit out. Let's do this again. Let's do this good. Sophie, do the outro.
That was Snackiversary, I guess. Number 4. We hadn't done other ones, so I guess it's the first one. Um, I guess like it's not the first live thing I've done since the coming out one, but like it's first one I've done on camera. The first live one was actually the next day, and like I am like I'm feeling a lot better. I was very, very on edge for a long time, and I don't feel as on edge anymore. Basically, like I'm gonna ruin Sin's outro again. I'm sorry, but like the reason when I came out, I had been doing it for like 18 months. This is actually one of the last places I talked about it. And the thing is, like, the reason I did it that way is because if if I had done this at the start, um, the negative pushback actually would have had an effect on me because I was very, very insecure. Like, I've seen the shit comments that we got, and they were quite vicious. And the thing is, if I'd heard that at the very beginning, it would have actually really hurt. But by the time I actually did it, like, I was secure. Everything was working out, and like I had been and just like I had been very visibly trans on stream for a long time before then. No one had like been like weirded out by it. And when it did happen, there was not like an exodus of viewers. We did not. We got 500 subs that month. It was like one of the best months we had.
Mhm.
And I can just look at the analytics and say, okay, like 97% of people were fine with this. So
Yeah.
I was in a position where I was secure.
Yeah.
So every time people try to say something shitty to me, it doesn't work because I can just look at that and say, well, it's not true. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Sophie, do the outro.
that was Snackiversary 4 of 1.
That's it. That's your outro. After that amazing
Um,
speech, that is your outro. That
and if
is.
people want to find out more about Reborn,
Well, I'm glad you asked because we have a 5-hour reborn analysis right here on our channel.
Sin, I've been wondering, who's this?
Well, this is Tuna. He's a high school student who's not very good at anything, but with the help of a magical baby, he gets good at everything and he gets the girl.
Now, Sin, there's been some audio issues. So when you said with the help of, it blanked out, and it just sounded like every anime I've ever seen. Could you be more specific?
Magical baby. There's a magical baby in a fedora who's part of the Italian mafia.
In every other respect, it's identical to every other shonen anime, is what you're saying.
Thank you, Sophie.
Is a pushing.
Thank
This
you,
is the
Pusheen.
pushing that we brought up another time. Can I
Thank
tell
you,
one more stupid
Sophie.
story? Can I tell one more stupid story?
Okay, one more.
Okay, so when I was 21.
Wait, sorry. Dahlia just demonstrated that she is one of the ultimate cultists
True,
by saying
true.
the policy.
Policy. Thank you, darling.
Thank you, Dahlia.
So this is like another like stupid shit that's sort of important. Is like when I was 21, so 16 years ago, I was at a really depressing shopping center in Melbourne called Northcote Plaza. And I think it was like the beginning of sort of like realizing everything in my life was wrong. And I was just overcome with this like horrible wave of existential dread. And I don't know what exactly it was about Northcote Plaza that brought it on, but it did. And so like after I transitioned, the first thing I did was I went back to Northcote Plaza.
Mhm.
I had not been there for at that time almost 15 years. And I went there and it's a shitty little shopping center, but it had a little dollar store in it, and I got this. This is like it's it was
That's so
$1 at the
cute.
counter. And I'm
Oh,
like, okay, you know what? This is my little sign that I overcame everything because I went back to Northcote Plaza and it was all right.
aw.
I also bought a little, it's like a bottle of foam balls that you stuff things with because I wanted them for something else.
Oh, people are leaving nice words in the chat.
You can tell stories about your life too.
My life is so perfect. I
I
don't want
feel
to
like
make
I'm pulling a
everybody
lot of the
listen.
weight here.
Listen, I don't want to make everyone jealous with how perfect my life is. Look, to attest to the perfectness. Look at this. What is this?
Oh,
Oh,
it's the NCR.
oh, it's the NCR.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
bought one for my boyfriend, so we have matching NCR hoodies. I mean,
I bought this snail bag from a lady on Etsy.
oh, do you have the hat?
I do.
Show the hat.
Should I
Show
get the
the hat.
hat?
Yeah,
I'll get
get
the
the
hat. Okay. 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 Ingrid, you have to move. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
If I can actually angle it up. Okay.
That's very cute. I love it. It's the best hat. It's like handmade and stuff, right?
Guess what country it's from?
The Union.
It's from Russia.
Yeah.
This is a handmade Russian snail hat.
It all comes
Also
full
from
circle.
Etsy.
Yeah.
This cost $130.
Patreon.com/SinclairLore.
Patreon earnings went 1 month. I just bought a snail hat.
It's worth it though. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Nathan just said, "Hey Sin, just discovered your videos about a week ago and have been binging them every night. I just want to say the content is great and I'm really enjoying
sorry.
it." Yeah, I'm like, Nathan, you need standards. Get some standards for the love of God.
Just imagine someone being like, I just found this channel a week ago. I wonder what it's like if they tune in and see this.
But you know what? I wonder what's worse, finding the old content first and seeing like the evolution, or finding like Jersey Miyazaki first and just like not understanding what's happening and then having to go backwards and just...
That was the issue that we were talking about Aegon, because like Aegon kind of came back
Okay.
like a little bit, and then we were like, I haven't been on Aegon's channel for 4 years. What's gonna fucking happen? In this period of time when like Aegon and Redgrave didn't really do anything, we have gone from like completely like the Souls community's weird and drunk aunts, respectively.
Yeah. Speaking of
That's gonna be.
yeah. You reminded me of, remember the first time we had Redgrave back on?
Mm.
I remember how excited people were. It was heartwarming.
But now they're like Jersey Miyazaki. Oh, thank you. Mutari Kator? Mutari Kator, sorry.
I'm pretty sure it says Kateki Hitman Reborn.
Mutaki Hitman Reborn says, they've already said this to you one time, but we help put their wife to sleep because we're calming.
Oh my god, so again, some people who weren't around, the podcast went through many phases. And one of the phases were, I don't
screaming.
know, just screaming, frustration, clapping phase. And those don't help you fall asleep. Don't listen to those.
No.
That's why actually a lot of those are going on Patreon, because we want to re-record them in a more watchable way. Yeah. Since screaming at Dead Space is the best to fall asleep to. Yeah. Oh, Arkan. Val B says, "Why is the little girl being so mean?"
That was so good.
That was cute. Who said that again?
It was someone's talking about their daughter, and they were like, my daughter listens, and she loves Richard, but wonders why the little girl is so mean to him.
It might be Rui who said that. I don't...
Yeah, and there's someone other person who like listens with their 8-year-old, and I'm like, should we start being safe for work? I'm so sorry. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Bear is saying that we like helped him during a really difficult time.
Oh.
Thank you.
How tough is your life that this helps you relax? Bear, I'm so sorry.
And I've got a lot of messages to that effect from people lately. So.
Hips is like, you know what? So this outro is not. I'm gonna go grab a snack. I'll be
Who
back.
gives a
Clearly,
shit?
Sophie's like, no, this podcast is gonna go on
No,
forever.
no. When they click the video, we'll show
Sinclair
them
will
how long
not
it
do
is.
any
That's
chores
fucking long,
today.
okay? That's how long it is.
Sinclair will have to do chores throughout the whole week because Sophie doesn't want to do a proper outro. So I'm gonna have to spend the whole week doing chores and then editing in between and then recording, and then because Queen over here, what she does, she just does herself pretty and the nails and the makeup, and I'm all while I do all the work. Let me go grab my freaking piece of jerky. Oh my god.
We live in an age of monsters and the body panics they excite. The global economic crisis that broke over the world in 2008 to 2009 certainly gave me an exclamation mark to this claim, with Time magazine declaring that the zombie is the official monster of the recession. While Pride and Prejudice and Zombies rocketed up the bestseller lists, and seemingly endless numbers of vampire and zombie films and novels flooded the market. As banks collapsed and global corporations wobbled, and millions were thrown out of work, pundits talked of zombie banks and zombie economics, zombie capitalism, and even zombie politics, in which the rich devoured the poor. Footnote 2. But while zombies took center stage, vampires too made their mark, so to speak, particularly in one American journalist's widely cited declaration that Goldman Sachs, America's most powerful investment bank, resembled, quote, a great vampire squid wrapped around the face of humanity, relentlessly jamming its blood funnel into anything that smells like money, unquote. Having colonized much of mass culture, monsters also infiltrated the discourse of world leaders. We know very well who we are up against, real monsters, proclaimed the then president of Ecuador in late 2008, in a stinging attack on the international banks and bondholders that hold his country's debt. Only a few days earlier, Germany's president told interviewers that global financial markets are a monster that must be tamed. Footnote 5. Compelling as such proclamations are, they also risk trivializing what is genuinely monstrous about the existential structures of modern life. But modernity's monstrosities do not begin and end with shocking crises in financial markets, however retching and dramatic these may be. Instead, the very insidiousness of the capitalist grotesque has to do with its invisibility, which has to do with the invisibility with, in other words, the way in which monstrosity becomes normalized and naturalized via its colonization of the essential fabric of everyday life, beginning with the very texture of the corporeal experience in the modern world. What is most striking? Is she back yet? Monsters of the Market, if anyone's curious. By Galaxy.
The podcast has been going for so long, my battery ran out of juice.
Okay.
Oh, I have a thing here, I'll show you. Also, I dyed my hair. Look, no more grays.
Oh wow, yeah.
How's everyone doing? Well, what did we talk about while I was gone?
I did a reading.
It's good. Okay, this is what I want to show you. Okay, close your eyes, Sophie. Close your eyes. Okay, don't get scared. Okay. Okay, wait. Oh, fuck. Don't open your eyes just yet. Let's do this again. Okay, wait, okay. Okay. Wait, we got this. Carefully. Okay, I don't want to alarm you, but you may open your eyes. Oh my god, do you know what this is?
The Halloween mask?
Chat, please explain to Sophie what this is. Thank you, Dahlia.
Oh, it's a spicy mask from
Thank you,
Bioshock.
Allison. No, Gary.
Okay, thank you.
My boyfriend and I have a dehydrator, and we made beef jerky.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Sophie, did you eat? Not eat. Did you read Atlas Shrugged?
No.
I didn't know what it was before encountering Bioshock,
Okay.
but I didn't read it. I saw a movie. For some reason, Penn and Teller were in it or something. It was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Graham is hungry now.
Okay. I love the idea of like, I found this podcast a week ago. I wonder what the live stream is like, and it's this. They're sitting in silence while you smear in a bloodstained rabbit.
Yeah, if anybody joined later, do you still have any inquiries or questions about the podcast or anything that's happening?
Questions about what you're doing.
I'm gonna get my other snail.
It's Sindarko. Sophie has so many snails in her room. Don't tell Sophie I said this, but she's really amazing and she's an awesome person and I love her very much. She's incredible. What is this?
Hi.
What is this? What are you wearing? You look ridiculous, Sophie.
No. This was a little bit less expensive than the other one, but actually not much less expensive.
Was it also handmade?
No.
Don't be a snitch, don't kitty. Did you
Technically
combine the
combine
two
hats
hats?
and- I actually, what I wear this on top of is I have a witch's hat that pokes up, so I put it on top of that to give it like a...
It's like a transformer hat.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. This is like
Let's
work
see.
of art.
Thank you.
It's like, you know that fancy museum with the Michelangelo painting or whatever?
Mhm.
That's what that is.
Oh, Bear's got a really good question.
Okay.
What do you think of Cube, the movie?
Cube. I will tell you what I think of Cube. Oh no. My laptop is dead. Laptop on. I will tell you what I think of Cube. Not only did I see the Cube.
The Cube.
What's wrong with the Cube?
No, isn't it just called Cube?
Whatever. Not only did I see Cube, I saw Cube 2 Hypercube, and I had to turn on the laptop to see the name of the third one. I actually saw Cube 0, and I'm waiting for the new one because there were rumors that a new one is coming. And it's like a Japanese cube. So I love the cube. I love the cube in all its forms. Even Cube 0.
This is like Jersey Miyazaki. I love the Cube. You know that movie, The Cube?
Thank you, Sophie. We should do a Cube podcast.
Alright.
We should do a thing like, because I've seen them. I guess
well,
they've done
hello.
it. Oh, hello. I guess they've done it maybe, but there's like YouTube videos on like how to survive this zombie movie, how to survive that,
Uh,
how to survive the cube.
yeah.
I think what you really gotta do is use other people as bait.
Okay.
And that's how you survive the cube. It's like, oh, Sophie, after you.
Such a dick. Ingrid just landed on me again. He's not happy.
I feel like Ingrid is not happy with this development.
Ingrid always looks mad, it's so...
What other horror things do we like? There's the cube, that's good.
I like how this has gone from like, Sophie, you have to do the outro properly, to what other horror films do people like? I'm interested now because I'm talking about the cube.
This is, yeah, we're finally talking about horror. This is our forte. Alien. I love all the Alien movies. Even Alien vs. Predator 2.
Mm-hmm.
It was very bad. I watched it anyway.
I have not seen 1408.
You've not seen what?
14. Squibble's asking if you've seen 1408.
Is the one... Is it the one with the room? And the room is 1408 and like weird stuff happens? It's with the actors and they're famous.
Room 237.
No, that's the...
Room
Yeah.
237's the Shining documentary that plays out like the blood tendency.
Yeah, I
theories
started
and-
watching it and I couldn't. I watched like the first maybe half an hour. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Even from... Ludwig Killed Maria tells you this is ridiculous.
That's true.
You need to reevaluate everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like 1408. It's really good.
I have an Australian horror film that I've never watched, but
What
it's
is it?
sitting on. It's called Me and My Mates versus the Zombie Apocalypse.
It sounds amazing.
I've never seen it. It just sits there on DVD.
Mm. What Kubrick movies have you watched?
The Shining. You can talk about that. There's lots of theories. Real.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think most of them, honestly.
Let's see. Stanley Kubrick.
We don't have to go over the entire Kubrick.
I'm looking at his
filmography.
movies.
Jesus Christ.
What? He only directed 16 movies?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he had like 1,000.
He's not Godfrey Ho.
What?
Alright.
Takashi Miike probably directed at least 1,000 movies. He does a movie every month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've seen... Okay, I've seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, I've seen Clockwork Orange, I've seen Shining,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Metal Jacket, I've seen Ice Shot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all.
Okay. No Barry Lyndon?
What?
Barry Lyndon? No,
No,
Barry
I'm gonna
Lyndon?
click it now.
Okay.
Is it as good as The Avengers?
About the same.
I mean, I'm looking at the cover. It doesn't look like my type of movie.
No.
There are people kissing on the cover. I'm like, nah. Event Horizon is my #1 movie of my life. Like, that's why I love Dead Space, because it's basically Event
Yeah.
Horizon the game.
You know what's disappointing?
What?
I mean, for you.
Yeah.
The Event Horizon's made by the guy who married Mila Jovovich.
Wait, what? Wait.
But it was before they met, so she's not in
Wait.
it.
Wait.
Oh, now it's fucking serious.
Because if I'm I'm gonna, just so I don't say something out of character, I'm gonna Google this. Event Horizon. Made meaning directed or written or what?
It's Paul W.S. Anderson. He married Mila Jovovich.
Director, okay. So, oh, I'm gonna. This is frustrating because the person who makes one of the most perfect scary movies ever, Event Horizon, that has no Mila, proceeds to marry Mila and make her act in all of his shittiest movies. Movies such as every Resident Evil. Did he? Oh. He was involved in the Three Musketeers?
Didn't he direct it?
I don't know, but like it's on the cover. It's on the cover. He did something with it. She was also in it, poor girl. I am livid. So he can make good movies. He just chooses not to. He's just choosing to put Mila. He's like, let me do something bad, but it's okay. Mila will bail me out because she's such an amazing actress. Everything she touches is good.
How do you know they're not just like a weird couple who make shit together and it's fun?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I hope Mila's happy, but I'm not happy with what he's done with her career. I'm sorry. I wish I did not know this information, because now I can't like Event Horizon anymore. It's tainted. Is there any way to reach this guy?
His agent?
Okay, well, I'm gonna have a talk with his agent.
Okay. I like how that was so serious you took your Bioshock mask off.
It's so... The jerky was very good. I made the marinade.
Yeah.
And boyfriend made the jerky. Yes, love, what?
I'm gonna be digesting the pineapple poutine for probably the rest of the week.
Why pineapple? You could have literally put anything on it.
Using our two cultures.
Pineapple is Australian?
Yes.
Pineapples grow in Australia?
Yes, that's what Queensland is for.
Literally?
Yes.
Okay. Hey Google, where do pineapples come from?
Here's a summary from the website lovebigisland.com. Pineapples come originally from South America.
Okay, but what about now? Hey Google, where do pineapples come from today?
On the website lovebigisland.com, they say, today, 75% of the world's pineapples come from Indonesia, Thailand, and the Philippines.
I don't see Australia on the list.
If you go to Queensland, there is literally a gigantic pineapple-shaped building you can go into and learn about the way pineapples are grown.
Okay, so when you get your GoPro, you go on an adventure to the pineapples.
I'm not going to Queensland.
Why not?
Well, firstly, I can't because the states have borders up because of COVID.
Oh. But they'll understand if it's for the snack covenant.
Maybe. Compassionate reasons.
Delia's like, you can probably harass him on Twitter. Delia is sitting there sipping her tea like, how do I instigate this?
Holson has an important question.
Yes.
Do Australians still call women Sheilas? And they do, but it's generational.
What does that mean?
It's just like Australians of a certain generation call women Sheilas, like a bunch of Sheilas.
Like Karens or?
No, just as a general term. It's not like a specific kind of woman. Just like, oh, the Sheilas are out.
Is that a popular
Blokes
name?
and Sheilas.
Or...
Yeah, it's like men are blokes and women are Sheilas.
Okay, but Sheila is a name, right?
Like, yeah.
But
You could be
bloke is
Sheila
not a
Sheila.
name.
It could be.
Oh.
There's a remember that like the bitch song from like the late 90s? Like, I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a
Yes.
child. There was a terrible Australian parody called Bloke. I'm a bloke, I'm a yobbo, and my best mate's name is Robbo. It was so horrible.
Sounds good.
Oh,
Uh, have you
it's
seen
an
any?
hour after we
Yeah.
said we would stop.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't
It's
do a
the
proper
longest
intro,
outro ever.
so we're stuck here now, indefinitely.
That's fine. That's fine.
Did everybody understand the pun that I made over there?
I wasn't paying attention.
Well, you know, I already told you, but everyone else, like, there's a pun happening.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a clever one. I'm really proud. I'm really proud of this one.
Yeah.
To call up
I
my
have
5
my
brain cells.
independent thing up, but it's not visible from this angle.
Oh. Kid is like,
Did I
wait,
get it
just
as
an hour?
to close the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sophie's such a good girl. She's so compassionate and sweet. She's an excellent friend. Don't tell her I said that. Very clever. It's Elden Ring rearranged.
Had that made in 2019. All we knew was the title, and I'm like, that's an anagram.
Mm-hmm. Vangoli is here.
Yeah?
It's a Reborn reference.
Yeah. Reborn? Sin, why don't you
Dun,
tell us about
dun,
this
dun,
mug for the
dun,
4th
dun.
time?
I don't know. I've never seen this mug before in my life.
Do you know what else I got for my birthday this year,
What?
actually?
What you got? It's a duck. It's very
It's
cute.
pretty-
It's pink. It has sprinkles. Can you
I
eat
don't-
it?
No. I didn't, well, I mean, you had a very large mouth, you could choke on it.
Oh my
But,
god.
like, I don't know why I bought that for myself on my birthday, but the receipt shows I did.
That is very cute. Okay, you know what? This is good reminder, because on the Fallout store they had a duck, rubber duck, in the form of Fallout characters.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's time for our daily Bethesda Fallout store visit. Whoop whoop. 120. Okay, so let's look what they have. Arranged by Fallout. By newest.
The most sin thing ever. Fallout store arranged by Fallout. All of Fallout.
Thank you, Sophie. They have a armor pack. What is that?
Mhm.
Is that a action figure? It's a
Why are
Brotherhood
you
of
asking me?
armor pack. What's an armor? I guess it's just like an action figure. It's a Brotherhood of Steel outfit. Okay. 1/6 T45. Is it like 1/6 of original size?
Yes, the 1/6 scale.
That's pretty big still.
It's like a foot, I guess, if it's a person.
T45 power armor. Okay, it's pre-order. It's $150 USD.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little expensive. But it is a T45. So we'll put it on a hold in our head.
Okay.
There is a Fallout Robka Industry T. The Atomic Blast Lamp, that's sold out already. It's out of stock. Vault Boy, Sandman. Oh, the Fallout board game. I think we already have that. There's a new Coca-Cola cup. There's a Vault Dweller welcome kit. Okay, that's really cute. It has tickets and everything to the vault. Vault Boy watch. Okay, it's only $65 for some reason. I'm not sure why. What's wrong with it? They had like $300 watches on the site. Oh, thanks for coming, Gary. We'll see you later. I think Gary's name might be a Fallout reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, ha ha ha, Gary. There's a Vault-Tec license plate. Okay. Another t-shirt. Oh! Protectron statue, that's cute. And it's only $95 as opposed to the $151. Okay, there is a T60 camouflage power set armor that's $430. Okay, just get the T45 one. Like, at this point, you're saving $300.
Are you like giving advice to people if they also want one, or?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the T45 I think looks nicer anyway, so... Unless this one's
I know
bigger.
it's my fault this dragged on, but I think we should call it a rest now. Maybe
Sophie!
give it a rest.
Sophie, do the outro.
That was Snackiversary 4, episode 1. That was the 4th anniversary. The first video.
Yeah.
We're going to bed.
Okay. Am I going to bed?
If you want to. It's
I
your
can take
life.
a nap, yeah.
You are in. Take control over your life. And just fucking go to. What time is it for you?
Communist Tomato Cowboy says Metal Gear is an anagram for Todd Howard. Thank you. It's 2:24 p.m. for
it's
me.
2:24 p.m. Maybe have a little nap.
Yeah, okay, everybody. So everyone takes a nap now. Go to sleep or take a nap. We're doing this together. We're a community.
She does that to me. It's true. She's like, go to bed now. I'm like, it's 1 p.m. You gotta go bed. You wake up and I wake up. It's easier. Dr. Sin Medicine Woman is
Yeah.
an idea for a series in which Sin solves everyone's problems by yelling, "Get better!"
That'll
Oh
be
my god,
$400.
oh my god, just get better.
Thank you.
That'll be $300, please. Cash only, I'm not paying tax on this shit. There's an ATM in the basement all the way up here.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you, Sin.
And thank you everyone for listening. And see y'all next time.
Well, next time. Bye.